Hello, everybody. This is Casey here to do live spiritual chat tonight. How is everybody doing? I know there's several other readers up right now. We'll see if anybody's available to come in tonight. Hey, Asol, how you doing, hon? Do you have anything in particular you would like to talk about tonight, hon? I know we were doing archetypes earlier, and then a bunch of readers came on, so. Are you all ready for this weekend? It's supposed to be really nice here this weekend. Maybe just us here tonight. Anything particular you want to talk about? Any questions? Hey, we could, doesn't have to be spiritual if nobody shows up. Hey, Alban, how are you tonight, hon? Do you have any topics you want to talk about tonight, Alban? It's 1:11. Wow. Did you look up the spiritual meaning of 1:11? It's on my Kindle. Let me see if I can find it. I have a book from Hay House. See what they say. Spiritual meaning. There it is. Spiritual meaning. Let's see. Nope, that's not the one I wanted. I think it's quite. Okay. This book is by Kyle Gray. It's downloading it. Let's see what he has to say about the numbers. I keep running into 1010. 1010. Everything's 1010. But did you Google the number, son? So 111 and 222 are considered good luck numbers. It's a call from the angels to pay attention to your thoughts. Okay, you're going to manifest things into reality, so pay attention to your thoughts. Okay, if you're thinking something negative, make sure you switch it back to something positive, okay? Let's see. I get a no, hon. I get a no. Is he in San Francisco, hon? I mean, is he in California? Let me find number 111. This is 1111. Come on. It's the problem with the Kindle. You can't open to the page. I'm going to tell you, girl, do not see him because you're chasing him. As long as you're chasing him, he's not going to make any effort to do what he needs to do what he has to do, okay? He's not going to heal. He's not going to follow through on anything he needs to do as long as you are contacting me. Okay, 111. Your thoughts and intentions are magnified at this time. Focus on what you love, not what you fear. Okay. I'm supposed to go to a wedding tomorrow night, and it's like, it's been so long since I've been anywhere. I don't know how I'm going to act or how I'm going to do my makeup or, oh no. Who else is here? I show 5 people. So ASO and all band. Who else is here? Do you guys have anything specific you want to talk about tonight? Hi, Patty. So something interesting happened, okay? I had to go to the food bank. And for the last month, there's been this bottle sitting on one of the shelves at the food bank. And it's caught my attention for the last month, right? I just happened to pull that bottle out. Okay? I pulled it out. And I said, what is this? Okay? It's for GI Tract Wellness. And what have I been saying? I think a lot of these breathing problems are from the GI tract. It's not the lungs, it's not the heart, it's the GI tract. I picked it up on Friday. Picked it up last Friday. On Sunday, I noticed that my breathing had doubled. My ability to breathe had doubled. So pay attention Pay attention when something catches your attention like that. I looked at it for a whole month. It's not expired or anything. And it's funny because Michael Tierra, he wrote the book, The Way of Herbs. Okay? He wrote The Way of Herbs, and that's the first book I ever picked up on healing. And I used all those remedies to clear up about 50% of my health problems. S. Bullard. Yeah, so it's like, okay, interesting. So I went to the doctor yesterday, and I'm sitting there, and he was checking my oxygen, and it was running between 86 and 90. And I thought, okay, maybe I need to turn my oxygen up. When I got to the car and looked at the oxygen tank was not even on. So I made it all the way walking in there between 86 and 90. It has to be over 88 to be normal. So I'm getting there. He's like, I said, do you think I'm going to get off the oxygen? And he says, he might start looking around for a compressor. They run about $3,000. I said, okay. There's 4 fruits, Jenna, 4 fruits. Okay. This is a 1,000-year-old recipe. It just says, Chabulik myrobalan fruit, organic ami fruit, and organic Balearic myroblaven fruit. Oh, yeah, because this has doubled my breathing in just a few. In 2 days, it made a difference. Okay, so let me type down what the fruits are. But this is just a 1,000-year-old recipe. Organic. And I know I've read about it before. But between this and I'm sure what the marshmallow root does is it goes in and rebuilds all the stuff in the intestines, and it helps with leaky gut syndrome. Yeah, I tried glutamine, yeah, and quercetin, yeah. I've never heard of that. What is the Boulardi? Quercetin, I know what that is. Glutathione, I've tried too. Hey, Crazy Crystal. Did you hear what I was saying, Crystal? I went to the food bank. This has been sitting on the shelf for a month. Yeah, I've tried it. I've tried glutathione and I've tried quercetin, but I don't know what the other one is. Okay. This has been sitting on the food bank for the shelf for a month. I finally looked at it. It says GI Tract Wellness, and I said, okay. That's why it's had my attention for the last month, and nobody's touched it. Within 2 days, my breathing doubled, and I think I'm seeing an improvement on the breathing too. So, okay. Ah, where'd my pen go? What the heck? I went to write with my pen and it's apart. Okay, my granddaughter is not here. What's going on? Let me check into this other one. B-O, no acid foods, no. I haven't been eating any meat. Well, I ate a little bit today. B-O-U-L-A-R-D-I. Is that a form of is that a form of a probiotic, Jenna? The S. Boulardi. Hey, Judy. Glutamine. The glutamine. You go on for 2 weeks and stop. Repeat every 3 months. Is it a? It's a prebiotic. Yeah, I do have. I do have that. I do have that. I ordered it special because the probiotics I had didn't have it in it. I do have. What's the other one called? One of the. Let me look. They're driving me nuts. Inulin. I take inulin off and on. Yeah, inulin, a prebiotic. Inulin, dairy, gluten, and I can't do nightshades, and I can't do meat. I can't do meat. Hey, Casey, honey. Yeah, I can't do meat. I can do chicken, but I cannot do any kind of red meat. Any kind. It's good to see you back, honey. The kids asleep. Nope, dairy. Yeah. You know that I'm here anytime you want to chat, Jenna. Hey, look at Hermit's Corner's here. How are you doing tonight, hon? All of a sudden, my nose is running. How you doing, hon? Last time, Dean, when's the last time I saw you, Dean, you were not having a good day. How are you doing now, hon? Anybody want to come on and talk? Star won't be on to do numerology tonight because she's getting her daughter ready for camp. Yeah. You can call me on Instagram, hon. You're still watching the fever? I know, hon, you've had a rough week. How are you feeling physically, Casey? besides being tired, hon? Ugh. Did you hear what I was saying about this herb, Casey, for GI tract wellness? I am also for immune system. I am taking this one. My friend told me about this. This boosts the immune system. Okay. Yeah. That's wild harvested Patagonian wakame, 85% organic fucoitin. So I'm going to try it for a while. But like I said, this, I said, there's a reason I've been noticing it for a whole month. What the heck? What the heck? Always pay attention to what you're drawn to, you know? Okay. You ladies can come on and talk, you know. Don't leave me. It's so much easier to talk than it is to type. And it doesn't leave me up here all by myself. I've got used to you guys talking. You okay, Judy? Come on in, ladies. Oh, Crazy Crystal, it says device is not connected. Right, there we go. There she got it. There she is.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you? How's everyone?
I'm making progress.
Turn this off.
I was invited to a wedding tomorrow. I'm actually going to go. Haven't been anywhere forever.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll catch the bouquet and meet somebody.
Oh, yeah. So I don't remember. I don't think you were back here. This friend of mine, Joe, he come on and did some readings. It kind of irritated a lot of people, but it's his wedding, and I've known him for a long time. So he's learned humility, and he is learning to be a minister of the. I can't think of the name of the church. It's Mile High Church here, but it's science of mind. It's not Scientology. It's science of mind.
Interesting.
And he's going to set me at the table with all the practitioners. He goes, "Don't be telling them too many bad stories about me." He says, "Like it took me 3 years to try the bubble technique. Now I use it all the time." He said, that's funny. Yeah.
That's really interesting. Maybe you will meet somebody there. If you're sitting at the table of practitioners, maybe they know somebody.
Well, I think they'll all probably be too young, but
well, you never know.
Yeah.
There's gotta be somebody out there.
Well, I keep listening. All the readers keep saying somebody new's coming in. Even Bray was saying. But even Bray was saying somebody coming back from the past, and it's like, I'm telling you, when he comes to the door, I'm going to punch him in the face. Ah.
Crossing would approve.
Now, being such total shock, I won't know what to say.
Right. So, what's that place that you were talking about camping at?
Oh, there's a couple places up here. What's the name of it? It's up. Uh, oh my gosh, girl.
I'll think of it. You can message me.
Yeah, there's my mind's
No
blank.
pressure. You didn't have to stress on it right now. I was just wondering if you could remember.
The down here where the river is, where the Platte River is. Oh, I can't think of the name of it.
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's totally okay.
I will look that up though.
So, I did a different archetype test a while back. Do you want me to send you the link for that?
Sure.
Because it was like personality types, and it had. I did a different archetype test a while back. Do you want me to send you the link for that?
KLF.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, Jenna.
I sound sick. I don't sound like myself. But it's me. It's me.
That's okay, hon. We'll take you any way we can.
Close out. You got to close out YouTube in the background so it doesn't repeat.
Yeah.
Hold on. It takes me a minute to get situated. Okay, is that better?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm a little bit hesitant on. So let me know when you're coming on because I'm a little bit hesitant to just let anybody in now after what happened last week.
Why? What happened last week?
We had a dick pic.
Oh shit.
Was it just a pic? I thought it was like a video, but he wasn't moving it or anything. Just standing there, pointing his camera down.
No way.
I think it was the same person who did it last time too, because it looked the same.
Yeah, they chose a name from the chat and then put that name on and then popped in.
So Patty, I have 43% visionary, 29% intelligence, and 28% spiritual. Now I did read intellectual today, and I read the fashionista, intellectual, queen, and stars rebel.
I honestly couldn't believe how spiritual I was. Like it came out so spiritual for me.
That's good though. What did it come out as?
Like 47% spiritual.
Oh, yeah.
So is mine.
Was it? I'm like,
yeah.
How is that so high? And like I don't think I got anything intellectual, but actually I read a hell of a lot. Like I spend a lot of time learning things.
That's
of course, Casey, we spend a lot of time learning health things, but right now,
yeah, I wasn't too concerned because mine was 41% creativity, 35% intellectual, 24% spiritual. But the spiritual and the intellectual are seekers, are looking for truths, and they interact. And intellectual talks about using your intuition and your knowing. So I wasn't too worried after I read intellectual because it said spiritual 24%, because basically they're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, mine was spiritual and then intellectual and then caregiver. And I was surprised because it used to always be caregiver. But really,
I was a high caregiver right now.
Yeah.
I forget what my other one was, Casey. Did you write them all down?
Yeah, Crystal's 47% spiritual, 32% intelligence, 21% caregiver. And Jenna, 47% spiritual, 35% caregiver, and 18% explorer.
Yeah, the explorer is because I want to get no. Yeah, I like going places.
Me too.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So I have 4 new ones up for you guys to come in and listen to later. But yeah, the only one that had Rebel was Star.
Star, of course, Star.
And DJ had Royal. I said, that's interesting.
Who did?
DJ.
DJ?
Yeah, she had Royal. So Royal and Queen are pretty much the same thing. You know, people coming into power and stuff. So yeah. Bray got 61% spiritual, 28% visionary, and 11% creative. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I was just talking to her like a day ago.
So what are they telling you about your daughter?
So first we're doing a month worth of like gut healing. And then he said, congratulations, because your diet is absolutely phenomenal, spot on. I have nothing to say about that, except for as I search for these products that she's going to be using and stuff, he kind of schooled me on how to search for medicinal products, which companies bought and sold out. You know, the whole deal, right? Like, you know.
Yeah, let me know that information too.
Yeah, like simple things like don't buy anything acid. Don't take vitamin C. Vitamin C is absorbic acid. It's cancer causing. It's like that simple.
Well,
right.
what they give you, like the vitamin C in the pill form, most of it's made from corn, anyway, and that's really bad for you. So unless it's sourced from like oranges and lemons, grapefruit, that kind of thing, it's not good for
all of them are not all of them. So they trick you, Crazy Crystal. Like they will put like vegan, they will put non-GMO formulation, they will put like even the ingredients look pretty good, like a natto extract. You know, sodium citrate isn't that bad because it's an 8. But they trick you. Syrup, that it's not that bad. But it's the actual vitamin C that's bad because one, it's an acid, and acids are cancer causing. So like it's vegan, it looks great, it's organic, it has all really beautiful non-medical ingredients, but the actual product is a piece of shit. So pardon my French, but like that's how I'm talking to myself.
Well, I know, hon, because you know I try to buy ones that say standardized for one thing.
No, there's only one kind of vitamin C you can get, and I couldn't find it even on the store shelves anywhere from here to an hour away. I couldn't find it on Amazon. I couldn't even find it online to buy.
What kind is it?
I had to special order it from the guy. It's called CISO.
C-cell?
CISO.
C-cell. C like C-E-L?
I think it's CISO. I don't know. I don't have it all yet. I still have to absorb it, but after I absorb it, I mean, I'll like, you know, share my wisdom.
I do like Now brand products. I seem to have good results for those.
Which name?
Now brand.
Oh yeah, I have one of those. Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna suggest, but he said like, you know, we used to use what Geneva is what I used to use. Physica, like, you know, even Nature's Bounty. He doesn't like any of those.
Well, this one is planetary herbals. So, and I seem to muscle test good for this.
Genestra, even Genestra, he didn't like. I'm like, what? You don't like any of those? He did not say Now. I showed him the Now, but he didn't say anything about it. But he said, you get what I say, or, you know, you can do what you want too, but it's been at no success, right? So she actually is the same as you, Casey.
Is she?
Yeah. Like, yeah, you guys pretty much have the exact same thing, which is rather interesting, I guess. I mean, of course, her markers could be higher on different aspects of the, you know, of the scale, but essentially it's the same. She's high in yeast too.
Mine right now is going back down, but all this, I'm telling you, all of this, AFib is probably from intestinal. Okay.
Yeah.
The
Oh, for sure is. Look at her when she's sick. Like,
yeah,
that's why I was debating taking her to the hospital, because she's 90% oxygen, and I was watching her go down to like 89, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not standing for 89. Like, if you're 89, I might as well go supplement you on oxygen at the hospital. But it's simply just because she's always lower in oxygen. Like, she used to be able to hit 99. Now she maybe 97 on average, right? So, and it wins her. Like, she's tired, as you know.
When I went to the breathing doctor, I have a breathing test next week.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine on the breathing. They worried that it's gone into COPD, but no, they said as long as I don't get under 88, but I was dropping down to 75.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's hella low. That's way too low, Casey.
Yeah, that scared the heck out of me.
Yeah, that is scary. But you know, it is simply the intestines, and your leaky gut needs repair. So the fact that you always and consistently have been allergic to the nightshades, which means you've never been able to actually manage to repair your gut. So yeah. you have to keep.
Favorite food growing up was spaghetti. Every time we went out to eat anywhere, my mom and dad liked to go out to eat 3-4 times a week.
But tomatoes, tomatoes are good, because even though they're acidic, when they hit your gut, they're actually alkaline.
But they're still a nightshade.
Yeah, they're the nightshade family.
Yeah.
They usually don't bother you, but if you've got an allergy to them, yeah.
But see, this is why I told you about the marshmallow root.
Yeah.
Because this works on healing leaky gut.
Yeah. So, like, you know, what he said to me is kind of what I do with Jayla. You know, he goes, you try something, you do it for, you know, we'll do this course, we'll do it for 2 weeks. Then, you know, take some days off in between. So go like Monday to Friday, take the weekend off. Go Monday to Friday, take the weekend off. Then go 3 months. Then try to replenish again. You have to give your body a chance to actually pick up. You can't just keep going and going and going and trying, because your body will actually get confused on what it's trying to do. Like, it'll be working in too many different facets.
Yeah.
Like,
that makes
I won't have a time to say, oh yeah, I like that, and then pick it up and actually start to like function in that type of way.
Well, that makes sense. I'll try this.
Right? So it goes 2 weeks, 3 months off, 2 weeks, 3 months off. Like, you got to give your body time to go back to zero. I'm sure 3 months sounds a little bit long to go back to zero to me, but
2 weeks on.
Let's just say, like, I would even, my common sense would tell me that you could go like 2 weeks on, a month off, and be, have enough time that it kicks into your body, because that's what I always did with the oregano anyway. I would do it for 2 weeks, and then I would go off it for a month, and then I would do it for 2 weeks. So personally, I did a month, but maybe with children, he's saying to do it longer. Don't know. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a lot of different products. But he goes, I didn't overspeak him at all, because I said he knows about each little separate piece of information on that GI 360. You ever consider doing one of those, Casey? An oats test?
What's it called?
It's called a GI 360 and an oats test. I mean, it's no good unless you can find somebody who can actually read those results, because, Casey, I tried to read them myself, and I was studying for hours and hours and hours and driving myself absolutely batty. It is worth it to have somebody say, this is this marker, this is this marker, this is this marker, this is fine. It's not as bad as you think. Have a nice day. It's nice.
Well, I'm glad you got that information, Jenna.
Right, Cece?
What a relief. I mean, no, really, that you got the test that she needed. You got a doctor who understands it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
what a
Finally. Hey, get this, girls. He's homeschooling his kids. He grows all of his own food.
he's cute too, isn't he?
He's got a wife. No, he's older, but yeah, he's a good-looking man. And he's got 6 doctorate degrees.
Ugh, that's awesome.
And,
Tell me he's not an intellectual.
and he did not get the vaccination.
He did. He did. Or
He
did
did not.
She said he did not.
He did
Sounds
not.
like a smart man to
In
me.
every single way, I feel like this man is like an extended part of Soul Fam. Like, you just meet somebody and you just know. Yeah, I just know. And then, having all these talks and feeling like I can talk about this. Like, if Jayla, this is the biggest thing for me, is if Jayla gets like strep throat or gets an infection like she has now, she goes into the hospital, I'm to call him right away. Like, I'm to call his office right away and get support,
Perfect.
maintain her. Yeah. I
got
mean, that's
chills.
a huge worry, right?
I got chills. You got a doctor.
Yeah.
That's so
Right?
good.
I mean, I got off the phone, and that fact alone, I cried, because that
That's
is
huge. That's
huge. That is like one of the biggest things. And what am I going through right now? Fever thing. And so he told me a product, like, if it is COVID, like, I tested me, I won't test her. But for me, I didn't test with COVID. But even a fever can take out your oxygen a little bit.
I didn't run a fever.
Isn't that wild, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, I have the same cold as her, and I'm fine. Sinus in my head, you can hear it, right?
Oh, I just tired. It's like
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This will be day 4. So one more day, and we're going to the hospital, obviously, right? So, like, everybody pray tonight that she fucking busts through this fever, because me in hospitals.
Did he say anything about homeopathy?
Well, first things first. We only talk about first things first. So the issue is the fact that we have multiple allergies. We have mass histamine reactions, and we have leaky gut. We cannot do anything with a leaky gut. So point blank, we're done there. Let's solve leaky gut. Which means essentially, like, by repairing the gut, that's step 1. And that's it. We're just working on that alone. And so, we're not going to step 2 until July. Like, it's like we're going one step at a time. So I see him before we finish our 30-day program, and then I see him on the 4th. So I saw him on the 10th. Now I see him on July 4th. So it's just that fast. Like,
And you're doing this virtual?
yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
Good.
I mean, it is really damn expensive, but I can't take it anymore. I can't do it anymore.
Tell me about it.
I need help. Yeah. I'm killing myself, between that, I'm worried about the stress of her going anywhere, and the stress of this virus, and the stress of grocery shopping. Like, I mean, even the simplest things, her going to dance class every day. Like, she goes to dance class, I pray outside the dance hall, please God, like, protect her while she's in there, send an angel in with her,
This is what I'm doing every night now. Thank you, universe, for all these health issues being solved and healed.
Yeah.
And this is a Neville Goddard thing, and I started that over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I think that might be contributing to it too.
With yeast,
faith that it's going to be healed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I had somebody try and break my face, which kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Who was it anyway?
Another medium that I know. here. And she just said, like, I see some healing or some, yeah, I wasn't very happy. I don't even, I almost forget because I don't want to know. But I have another, like, I have I have two friends. I have another one who's like, I trust, like, wholeheartedly. She is always right. And she said, believe in miracles. But I don't know, like with this yeast thing, like yeast can go away, I suppose, I guess. Like
Yeah,
you can
Get
balance
it
it.
under control. She's always going to have to watch what she eats and stuff.
yeah, it's sugar stuff because that's what feeds it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but essentially if you like took your gut back to like 0 yeast and eliminated all the yeast, then
Well,
what?
you're never going to not have, you know, you're never going to have 0 yeast because you have to have, there's so many different kinds of yeast. You just need the good ones to overtake the bad ones to keep it in
Yeah.
balance. You know?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to ask him like a really big question. God damn it.
What'd you forget to ask him?
Now, nutritional yeast, Casey, can you have nutritional yeast or is that essentially a bad yeast?
I've been using it to make like a macaroni and cheese, and I haven't had any reaction to it.
Yeah, she hasn't either, but still, it'd be good to know because with her, it's like, yeah, I can use it for a day or two, and then boom, like we have a kid who's not breathing all of a sudden, right? I
Yep.
just use it like here and there and sporadically.
Well, the gastrointestinal doctor I went to, I said, I'm pretty sure that I have candida in my intestines again. And he goes, what? What are you talking about? He says, you mean like a yeast infection? And I said, oh, shit, another idiot that doesn't
Another idiot. Yeah, I know, right? So this guy, he's saying, oh, what was I going to say? Yeah, he was saying she doesn't have like, SIBO and like it really sounds like it. And it's pretty much essentially what she could have if she goes on like this.
See, what happened to me is the COVID knocked my immune system so bad that 2 really serious viruses all of a sudden became active that everybody has, but my immune system was so low, it triggered it. One of them was Epstein-Barr virus, which triggers, what's the kissing disease? What is wrong with it? Mono, yeah. And and CMV, which triggers like chicken pox and stuff, but when your immune system's down, it can kill you.
I know, this is why I'm like praying to God right now. Like I just had to come down and have a tea and like chill for a minute because I'm in and out. I'm sitting there, but I don't want to take her to the hospital because then they'll want to give her antibiotics likely, and shit's only downhill from there. Might as well just feed her a little bit of poison tonight for dinner.
Can you use essential oils in a vaporizer?
Yeah, she's got eucalyptus on the pillow. She's got such and such. Oh yeah, like I'm steaming to avoid the pneumonia. I'm, only doing that when the fever is such and such, or, I steamed and then I poured the bath to the actual particular temperature with a thermometer. Like I am literally going down to the detail. Like, girl, I'm running up and down the stairs, getting everything she wants. Like, I have never felt so run down in my life. Today, I put her in the truck and thought she'll sleep better sitting up. So even though I'm hella tired and I've been running like this since Tuesday morning, I thought, okay, I'll put her in the truck today. I'll drive her because she'll just sleep and have the longest nap in the world and feel rejuvenated instead of laying down. I actually should have probably laid her down because I blew all 4 tires on my truck and it's sitting out there on jack stands.
Oh my gosh, how did you manage that?
I was going through town and somebody dropped metal off the back of his truck and it flung under my 1 tire. I couldn't avoid the 1 piece, but I mean, you're talking like 20 pieces of sharp metal on the road. Like I got 1 out of 20. I'm tired, so I freaking hit one.
Anyway. Replace tires?
I have to get, tires. I have to get them $2,000 later. God, I love my life.
Pay for them.
But you know what? I'm not really upset about the tires, to be honest. I'll just put it on a line of credit because, I think I took it pretty well. Like, I got other things to worry about in a sense. Like, it's kind of upsetting that it happened in a way of like my safety because we barely made it out of there, made it like back home, and while she's fevering, I got a little bit upset about that. But anyway, that wrecked a long nap because we had to come home. So
That guy should have been responsible for your tires.
Yeah, I would think so.
oh, I know, but what am I gonna do? I got a kid with a fever. I'm not gonna stop there on the side of the road, and I wasn't even gonna pick it off. I mean, it wasn't meant to be because she's sitting in the truck fevering, and I'm hanging on every percentile of oxygen right now. So
So
it's
what I thought was interesting, and I didn't notice till yesterday, the person that makes these herbs is Michael Tierra. Michael Tierra wrote the first book I ever got on healing. It was called The Way of Herbs. That book changed my life.
yeah.
It's the person who makes the herbal blend that you just found sitting on your cabinet?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. I looked at it and I said,
the whole time.
what the hell? He's the one that changed my life, and here it is again,
That's so weird. I've never heard of that one in all my studying. I've never heard of that one. Like, I want you to type that to me again, like in a personal message. Type it to me.
Okay.
But yeah, like I've done a lot of studying. Vitamin C is a big one though, Casey. We got to get you on the same vitamin C as Jayla. We also have to get you on a few of the other things that Jayla's on, and you can be on the same, like, follow our lead.
Did you hear what I was saying about the oxygen? No, I went into the oxygen Thursday. I'm still having B12 anemia. I told him, what can I do? I'm taking the shots every 2 weeks.
That's because you haven't healed the gut, essentially. Jayla's the same way. No B12.
He says, I think it's genetic. And I said, well, so.
Well, B12 is actually one of the ones that is extremely common.
Yeah. So it's like, okay. I don't know. But I was sitting there. He took my oxygen, and it was running between.
So let's see what I look like first.
88 and 90. And I said, well, maybe I need to move the oxygen up. When I got in the car, the oxygen wasn't even on. I had walked in there, and it was still running between 88 and 91. So I'm getting close. But yesterday...
91, which means essentially you can get rid of your oxygen machine. They will let you out. Yeah, they aren't concerned about anything like lower than 90s. They'll keep you in a hospital.
So when I got home last night and was trying to move things out of the car into the house, and I was in between oxygen, I almost passed out. So yeah, I'm not quite there, but I'm getting there.
Well, so maybe when you're doing something and you're like under a different type of stress, your oxygen is low. It's like Jayla when she's under the fever. It's touch and go. Like, that's why she's like, I'm so tired, I don't want to get up. I'm like, I don't care. You're going for like a steam. You might as well go in the bath while we're in here and then have a good night. So it took her up 2 percentages in oxygen. Just the moisture on your lungs, right?
I don't have the oxygen, but I mean the moisture, but I've been, using a lot of bag balm in my nose and stuff. So
what in your nose?
Bag balm.
Bag balm.
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to put it on cow udders for, like they get from milking them.
It heals fast. When animals cuts or anything, and the cows have cuts on their udders and stuff, it can almost heal them overnight.
It's an old-timey salve that you use for everything. My grandma used to put it on the trees to keep bagworms from going up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never heard of this. You can message me that
Put it
too, Casey.
on her feet. She had diabetes real bad, so if she got a sore, she put it on her feet to cure it. She put it on baby butts.
Yeah.
What's on my shirt?
There's always a square can of bag bomb laying around.
Heck
Yeah.
no. I'm having to Google this right now.
Yeah.
Bag. Interesting.
BAGBALM and a square green can.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that at one of my friends' places. I should put the milk back in the fridge.
It smells medicine-y, but I mean it works for cuts and sores, dry skin.
Chapped lips.
Hi, Judy.
I don't know if I'd use it for chapped lips. That stuff stinks.
No, but it
smells, smells medicated to me.
well, yeah, it's got a little smell to it, but Teeth gets upset with me because I put it on her nose because her nose gets so dry, she gets lumps on it, right?
Oh yeah, Grandma used to always put it on. My uncle had this he was a Rottweiler forever, and he'd get fly bites on his ears and on his backside and a little bit on his nose. And Grandma would put it on there. Yeah, I forgot about that. How she used that stuff for everything.
So
Wow.
I came downstairs earlier and I had brought the fan down because I don't have air conditioning. So I had the fan there and I had the door open and I hear, somebody's all upset. And I thought, what the heck? Why is she crying? She was stuck on the stairs because the fan and the door were connecting and keeping her from down into the kitchen with me. Oh, she was all upset.
No,
She's funny.
no, dogs are cute. Big
Yeah.
dogs scare me a little bit more. I once had my face bit off by a big dog, so I'm more like,
Well, did you
Sure that
ask him about the marshmallow root though?
not yet. He kind of said to me, in essence, well, if you don't want to listen to me, then why are you here?
Well, you are listening to him, but you're asking questions. How are you going to educate yourself if you don't ask questions?
Yeah, it's true. But he said he doesn't want me to do too much. Like, so he wants me to do this. So right now he doesn't want me to do anything else. He wants me to do what he wants to do.
yeah.
Because
So
he's treated millions of children, and this is what he's done that's worked. So that's what essentially he said to me when I asked.
Is she starting to have more energy?
was
Yeah.
sick now.
I sent her to dance 2 days ago because I thought she was all right. And then she just continued to fever. The only time she was all right was when she knew she was going to dance and she was happy. And then 2, 3, 4 hours after she came home, she busted a fever. So.
Patty, what did you do to you? She has a broken rib and she's on pain meds?
Yeah. Poor
What
Patty.
Oh, she broke a rib. Poor Patty, yeah. It's terrible. And ribs hurt. I broke a rib too.
Oh.
Like every time you twist, every time you move, it's so sharp. It takes your breath.
So my dad worked for RTD, which is the local bus company. He worked from the time they started, right? And those bus batteries run about 250 pounds, right? He was lifting one day and broke some of his ribs. So my son was probably about 5 years old. He went running in the house and he said, "Grandpa!" And he threw himself right into the middle of my dad's ribs.
Oh.
He couldn't breathe. I thought he was going to pass out. Oh my gosh. Patty, if you can, see if you can find some homeopathy. It's called Ledum. Ledum. That will help with the pain better than the pain pills will.
Oh, what was the stuff you said for dogs? Rock,
for
rock, rock
for
for dog pain.
for the pain. Okay, rust tox, that's good for arthritis.
Stocks. Okay,
Yeah.
I have to look that one up.
If you can get probably like do you muscle test or use a pendulum, hon? Most of the health food stores sell like a 6 or a 12C. Some of them sell a 30. But Washington Homeopathics, if you muscle test for something a little higher, they sell vials of it. You can get clear up to like a 10M up there. But if you need, you can usually get it local at some of the health food stores if it's like a 6 or a 12 or a 30.
At where?
At some of the health food stores.
Health food store. Okay. Well, you said something about being able to get it on Amazon.
You can get it on Amazon too.
Okay.
But Washington Homeopathic sells the big vials. Okay.
Yeah. Right now, I've got her on, and we're almost out. Hemp soft chews. They've got glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, all that stuff in them.
Sometimes I give her arnica too.
Oh yeah, for swelling and stuff.
Yeah, but they have the pills for arnica too.
Yeah, it's got some yucca, some turmeric root, or turmeric in it.
There's another remedy called Gelsemium or something like that. It's good for leg weakness in older dogs.
Yeah. Well, she's 3-legged, so that one back leg does all the work back there. It gets pretty sore from time to time, especially around stormy nights.
Yeah. Yeah. And Tinky gets mad at me. Hi, Divine. Tinky gets mad at me because if she goes upstairs and she doesn't eat at night, I give her about a quarter of a vial of a tincture of ginger. Oh my God. It's the end of the world.
She doesn't like it.
No, but otherwise she's up all night with her stomach growling and she's miserable.
Oh, poor doggy. Oh, Tricycle don't have stomach problems.
But I tried a different dog food.
Oh yeah, that'll mess them up every time unless you mix it like at first a quarter of the new one.
I did that, but I tried a new kind of dog food. It's a grain-free too, but she seems to like it, and it's smaller, and she hasn't had as many stomach aches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, yeah. But when I had knee replacement surgery, I did not use the pain pills because they make me throw up, every one of them.
Oh yeah.
So I was using like a 1M in the because for some reason I run on higher doses. I was using a 1M Leadum instead of the pain pills, and the nurse in the hospital was freaking out. Oh my God, what about the side effects? What about this? What about the reactions it's causing in your body? And it's like, homeopathy is like for like, okay?
What were you using?
Leadum.
Oh. And the nurse freaking. What about side effect? What about side effects of the dang pain pills?
Oh, I know.
I mean, I was in them for 12 years, and I was highly dependent by the time I finally got off of those. And then I was sick for like 6 months coming off of them.
And when I went to the eye doctor, the medication they gave me for allergic eyes, they don't have anymore. And she was saying, I said, well, I use homeopathy, a lot of other things. Oh, we don't believe in that. Homeopathy eye drops. I said, these are not fake homeopathy. These are regulated companies. These companies are regulated just as much as the pharmaceutical companies. Okay, but these are remedies that have been grandfathered in that have worked for hundreds of years, you know. And you might ask them if, okay, so in homeopathy for high fevers with kids, it's belladonna, but it's a watered down version.
Yeah, it's like 0.1%.
Yeah,
They put it in
that's why.
they sell those tablets at Walmart with it in there.
Yeah.
They're for a fussy kid for teething pain and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I probably have some of that. I have a few homeopathic, whatever you call it.
Homeopathy.
Yeah, I have a few of those things from when she was a baby that I used to use.
But belladonna is for fevers.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if the shaman, like I'm going to see a shaman too, like a shaman spiritual healer. So I wonder what he will do to coincide.
Yeah.
Like if he does some, works with the energies of them.
Yeah.
To tell me. You look and sound good. Thanks, Judy.
Okay, so Patty, that's why I said if you know how to muscle test or if you know how to use a pendulum, ask if it's
That's
safe.
why that's why I'm going to the shaman so that he can do just that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But homeopathy is usually watered down versions of things. The more you water it down, the stronger it gets. Okay? So it's kind of contrary to Western medicine. But take all your bipolar medicines together, okay? Put them together, and then maybe, or just write a list of them, and then go to the store and find the leadum, and then put it. If you're right-handed, you're going to put it all in your left hand, and you're going to use a pendulum muscle test and see if it's good or not. My niece was in kidney failure. She couldn't take anything, but she had a Bell's palsy attack.
Bell's palsy.
One
That's bad.
side of her face was hanging down, and they gave her all kinds of medicines, and she was sicker than the dog. She was hallucinating, everything. So I told her, I said, you know how to use a pendulum? She goes, no, I don't. I said, remember when we were kids and you used to hold a string over your wrist and ask what kids you were going to have? That's how you use a pendulum. She goes, oh, so she went in and muscle tested. She did the pendulum for each one of those medications, and her body said no to all of them. So she called her doctor and says, I'm hallucinating on all this stuff. I'm not taking it. She went on vitamin 12, cleared it all up. So I would check with either Washington Homeopathics or your local health food stores might have the leadum.
I wonder, I never asked this guy how many different, because he has 6 medical degrees, naturopathy and so on and so forth. I should go look at what all 6 of them are.
That'd be cool to know.
Yeah, he's an MD, he's a naturopath, he's functional.
Oh, that's so perfect.
You can't tell me he wasn't searching for some truth in medicine,
Yeah, I found the right guy.
The universe did this for you. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I know, because you know what? I'm tired of sweating every day. I'm tired of thinking, somebody's going to die in front of me every day.
Yeah.
You do not look pixelated to me. You look very clear to me.
Oh, do I? I look pixelated. So that's why I'm touching my face, because to me I look pixelated. It's just the darkness, I guess. Maybe my video.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of head over heels. I wish it was faster, but I know it's not going to be fast. So it is what it is. At least I have help.
Well, it took me a long time.
At least you're there. At least you finally got a doctor who, when she's sick and you go to the hospital, he's like, call me before they do anything, because he knows what to do. You're on the right path. You got the right doctor.
Yeah,
Finally.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Somebody who really cares. It's too bad because I met another root cause doctor, like the one that told me that the medicine would kill her, like the pharmaceutical medicine. And I guess he was busy leaving Canada because, he hurt a child by the same medicine, I guess, for a different reason, of course. And so he's being sued for her lesser quality of life, which is probably billions. So he didn't really want to get involved. It's too bad because he went quiet. But that was put in my path for a reason. Like, don't give her medicine. Because when you're down and you're desperate and you haven't slept and you're so scared your teeth are chattering at night, and you're just there praying to the angels that you see morning, the easy way out sounds nice. Sounds
Right.
really nice. So
So I think it's interesting that it's probably been 45 years since I picked up that book by Michael Tieran, and I'm going through
yeah,
the same
that's
stuff
cool.
again.
And
That's
the
cool.
herb
It's good that it's
you
working for you.
shelf a month.
What'd you say,
Probably
Crystal?
5 days. And the herbs to cure you are sitting on your shelf for a month, probably 45 days by that same guy.
Exactly.
It's awesome that it's working for you because I know with this type of illness, you really have to dig and find out what works and what doesn't.
Oh, girl, I research everything. Everything.
I did the same thing, Casey, and I feel so grateful to have, like, he's done this his whole life. He's done so many hands-on, has so much experience that, as much studying as I did, it was endless. It was stressing me out to the ninth degree because on top of it, I didn't get any sleep. Then I would be up all night searching. So I would be, watching this, searching this, same time. Like, just too much, too much. It was too much.
Michael
So
Tieran, with the Way of Herbs, started me on the whole alternative medicine path.
yeah, I always was like, I mean, from the time I was young, and it's kind of weird that I wanted to take the easy way out. I find it kind of weird, but that's what happens because when I went into the hospital, she was pumped full of all the medicine, and then I thought, well, this is a disease that could kill you, so you want another medicine, right? So then
Well,
you just
how
you
many
get into that.
times they give you one medicine, you have a side effect, they give you another medicine to cover that side effect.
I was on 11 meds because of that. And then if I was sick, it'd be 3 or 4 more antibiotics, steroids, all that. And then,
Crystal, you probably didn't even know how you were.
yeah, I got rid of all of that in 2016.
So when I was in college, I was taking Tai Chi, and the teacher also went to China and studied Chinese medicine. So he was a Chinese medicine doctor too. He was telling us that he had an 18-year-old girl that was on 32 medications for that very reason. So what they did is they started doing acupuncture and start taking her off one medicine at a time until they got her off of everything. And she's healthy now.
We'll see with Jayla too. Like, I'm never gonna give up. I'm gonna use this guy until he can make her the best that he can make her. And even if he stays with us and follows us through life, once we're at the point where it's like, I feel like she's good. I feel like she's stable. Like, I'm going to the shaman too because, of course, I'm spiritual. So I believe, I believe in miracles. I still believe that there's the miracle. So I'm going to the shaman so that, everything I do from this point out, I can almost bounce it off somebody who's really, really connected. I already do that, to be honest. Like, I asked my friend who's really powerful, and she's been right this whole time. Like, there's not one day she's been wrong, or yes, she'll make it till morning. Yes, you.
Be careful who you ask to do a reading for you, because they can.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily like ask for the doomsday. I never. I don't know if you guys notice, but I'm always like, tell me something positive, or I only want to know or I don't want to know about the past. I just want to know about something positive coming. Like I do that type of way. Like to
I do the same thing when I try to do the readings. I try to encourage you, to empower you. You know, if the universe wants you to know something bad, they're going to let you know.
well, see, I'm not one to like go back to the past. Yeah, my ex is sexy as all hell, but there'll be another sexy as all hell. And then maybe I'll be in love with him in more facets, Every time I meet somebody, it seems to get better or better or better or better. Like you just have no idea. Like there's unlimited potential. There's it could be
That's the magician card.
in the corner, like
That's the magician card for me, because every relationship you have, you learn what you like and don't like, and it's all practice and study until you find the right one.
yeah. Well, I'm personally like I don't honestly even care. So, like
a wedding tomorrow, so this is going to be interesting.
You're going to a wedding? Oh, that's exciting.
I
Yeah,
haven't-
like I'm so focused on other stuff. Good things coming. Good things coming. Just don't give the bad things that much energy. But some people need it. Not to say that some people are stuck in that energy, or obviously, am I going to reconcile? Am I going to reconcile? I mean, I can understand because love is powerful. So, no judgment. Just
I told Crystal he'll probably show up, and if I meet some guy, and I'm probably going to punch him in the face. I'm just, and I'm not.
just done with men.
I just,
No, smile.
funny.
Smile.
So I think it was Judy wanted to know if you tried that. Judy wanted to know if you tried Reiki.
Oh yeah, I've done I've had people do energy work on her, yeah.
All you have to do, you don't have to be a Reiki master. All you have to do is ask for the Reiki energy to come in. I would also ask for called the rainbow energy to come in. Okay.
Yeah.
11.
It's Kahuna medicine.
Kahuna.
It's called arch healing. But
So I had a healing done the other day.
ask for the energy to come in and just run your hands over.
Yeah. I have one of my really good friends, she's so amazing at it. So I used to go to her like and get massages and get Reiki done or whatever. She would, when she came over, like she would give me a treatment. We trade. I would read, she would Reiki me. And she just the warmth in her hands, just it's unbelievable. Like there's no way. But yeah,
There's absolutely no way.
Oh, with her, it's like a burning sensation almost.
Hi, darling. Yeah, she's a natural healer. Yeah.
So I had long healing done the other day by two people at the same time. My friend has this group, Evolve Me. Jenna goes to it. Star goes to it. So check it out, Case. I'll send you the link.
Okay.
But they were doing a live chat, and they just offered me one, and I'm like, cool. And then I could feel it. I could feel it in my head and in my chest. And it was light. It wasn't like obtrusive or anything. It was like a gentle pulsating. It I felt it all the way through my body, but especially in my head and my chest. Mm-hmm. And then they described what they saw, and they were like, the chick was like, I saw this beautiful bright white light coming out of your crown. And then, as I went deeper, I saw a golden light. And all I could think of was how, whenever you guys walked me through it, and it was like, push all that out and let the golden light of source fill you back up. I was like, I must still be carrying all that. Yeah, they're really interesting. They do all kinds of different stuff from healing. There's a medium who is like an animal. She specializes in animals, past or present. There's tarot readers, all kinds of different healers.
That's cool.
Yeah, like a learning type of network type thing. It's really cool.
See,
It's
that's what
pretty
that's why nobody was doing any of this when I started my channel. I'm
yeah.
hoping I was a little bit of an influence toward that energy coming in.
That's the Evolve Me, Crystal.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what they say about my energy. But I'm gonna say I don't want to know anything, like, know what I want to know and know what I don't want to know.
When's your free reading set up?
Oh no, maybe sometime in June. I might delay it, although they don't want to know anything about me, so I stifle myself in chat or whatever. But it's probably good day.
It's so hard to stifle my.
I have a free reading coming from me.
What's
Jane,
that?
you still have a free reading coming from me, Jane.
Yeah. Where is Truly?
She's dealing with family stuff. Her mom died.
Yeah. And then
And they were so the older siblings moved in and they're kicking her and her sister out. But I think she has a good case because she's the one that stayed there and took care of her mom.
yeah,
The whole time.
the whole time.
Public courts are going to look at that.
Oh yeah, they are for sure. How could they just move in and tell her to get out? You get out.
And then she's got her little tree business started. They're trying. Yeah, they're making her twin sister sleep in the car in the driveway. They won't let her in.
Aw.
So it's like what my sister did. She come in and took over everything, kicked my sister out of the house, and she had nowhere to go. She was living with my dad, not able to work because she was an uncontrolled diabetic her whole life, and they just threw her out on the street. And it's like,
Wow.
this is
You
Yeah, I
really
just never see her on here anymore.
We had the same kind of crap happen when we lost our older family.
yeah.
Ugh, people get so crazy, right? If that happens to me and my family, I'm just gonna tell them, have it all. How do you feel? Have a nice day, and just walk.
Well, I didn't care about everything until they did that to her, and then I dug in.
Yeah, my thing was no amount of possessions is going to bring them back, And is that, how are you going to act like that now that they're gone? I mean, you certainly weren't here for them when they were alive. You know what I mean? That's what. Oh gosh, it was so upsetting.
See, the will disappeared.
Do what?
The will disappeared. My dad's will disappeared, and I know why. I'm positive that my dad left the house to his step granddaughter. He just
that's the thing to me, though, that if these people who are passing really had the intention to pass this along to somebody, they would provide them with all that stuff. Like my father right now is saying, like, I'm going to give you all my spiritual everything. And he's telling me this right now. And he's saying, I'm going to give you everything I ever wrote, all my ever, my whole spiritual life. But he's giving me access to it now before he passes. So this is he's giving me control of it essentially. So that's my thing. If if they really wanted you to have that.
So people on a level understand that, but people who fear death don't want to talk about death because it's taboo. So they don't want to make plans for their own death. They want to live every day like they don't have to die. They don't want any of that. It's scary. Most of society is like that.
Yeah. Well, I know I haven't made out my vote because honestly, it's very hard right now to say who would take my girl. Who would
exactly? And a lot of people, they don't even think about that kind of thing. They think it's going to go the way that they want it, and it's just going to happen the way that they want it, and everybody's going to do their wishes. They don't want to think about the greed and the anger, and they don't want to think about death, period. A lot of people do not.
Yeah. I mean, I can, financially my life is sorted, but with my daughter, that's what's not sorted. That I mean, really, there's nobody's hands here I would want to put her into, so I just haven't done it. I'm actually thinking of one of my best friends is the only one who actually knows what anything that's going on with her, I guess, essentially.
Well,
Yeah.
I have I'm not gonna. I don't want to give it to any of my kids. I have lots of books, lots of knowledge, and stuff in here, and I have some really nice furniture, expensive furniture and stuff. So I don't want to give it to any of them because my youngest son would just come in and throw everything away, you know. And it's like I told my grandson, I said maybe I'll make you the executor of everything. Then everybody won't be fighting and stuff. Ugh.
Yeah, but I still think it's it's a reality. Like a lawyer would have a copy of a will, and like everybody who's in the will should have a copy of the will. And yeah, people don't want to deal with it, but
See, that's what just happened to my brother-in-law. He told my brother-in-law told the kids, "Oh yeah, well you're going to get this and you're going to get to that." When my niece died, so he put the houses into his other daughter's name, and apparently the probate court went in and had him had her take her name off of all the houses and gave everything to his wife because nobody could find the will, and he fired his lawyer. So they were all being greedy and trying to grab everything, and none of them got anything. The wife got it all.
to be honest, that's the thing is like I don't have any expectations. So one of my friends, she has fibromyalgia and she has like a lot of mood disorders here. She'd be like 60 to maybe 65 no, and she's one of my best friends, and she's always talking about how she got screwed out of the will, like, and this is 40 years later. And every time she talks about it, I have to say, like, these kind of issues really screw with people. Like, I always say, like, Mary, like, you ended up with a husband who loved you, caretook for you, fed you every meal. You ended up with a beautiful home that somebody bought and is allowing you to rent out until the end of your days. What's wrong? Like, no, you didn't choose your illness. No, you didn't choose that you didn't, get it. No, you didn't choose this. But like, what would you do with it all right now? Like nothing, essentially nothing much would be different, right? And then she catches up again because she, it's like a memory lapse thing. And then she catches up and then she's like, yeah, because everything is good right now. And then, but then the next time I show up, she'll go back and she'll go, I was left out of the will. I just think it's just one of those things. I just think, sad as it is, and as people go crazy and people try and take things like have no expectations, build your own life for you.
It's called needing inner child healing. That inner child's not going to let go of it.
Yeah.
That needs to be cleared.
Yeah. But like,
you weren't here when we worked on Crystal.
Oh yeah, yeah. She told me about it though. Yeah, I was there right before, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
That literally got me high. Like, I was like, wow. I couldn't believe it, and I was like, spinning for a minute, and then I had to steady myself. I was like, okay, I just need to lay down for a few minutes. And then I was kind of nauseated for like 20 minutes because it was so intense.
How long has that been running your life?
Since I was 7.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, release. I used to pay good money to feel that way. Like,
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't wanted that kind of feeling for a very long time. So I was really, really surprised at that feeling. I did not expect to have that at all.
Wow. Well, the universe
I love
works
that.
its own ways, you know?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm really into like the mantras and the Eastern religions, and
Mhm.
in my studying and with the meditation, which
Yes.
obviously haven't done any in like a week. But when I
Oh,
was studying, I got into like the
I think,
Eastern section.
do you know what they're doing here? The fundamental Christians are having a fit because there's a yoga Barbie. They said it's the devil.
There's a what?
A yoga Barbie.
What's
Like
that?
yoga Barbie.
A yoga Barbie?
Oh,
I just bought a cowboy Barbie or like a outback Barbie.
so the Christians are throwing a fit about a yoga Barbie?
Yeah, they said it's the devil.
Oh, I seen somebody said something about, oh, okay, so the first gay pride flag was sewed together in a town north of here, and it's Kansas or whatever. So somebody from that town posted about it, and talked about the first person or whatever. Well, people got on there and they were going off left and right about it, being a sin and how they shouldn't be celebrating a sin. And all I did, I got on there and I was just like, do not judge lest ye be judged. What?
Exactly. And did you see that congressman that just went online? He says, oh, yeah, we're talking about this and that and gays and homosexuality and all this. Let me tell you what Jesus said. He stood there in 15 seconds in perfect silence. Jesus didn't say anything about homosexuality. And
Right? I just brought all that up, but I didn't want to get into a debate today. So I just said, judge not lest ye be judged.
I tell him, we're taught to love each other as we love ourselves. Not, but it's so sad because everybody's taught judgment. And I brought this up. I said, I wish I would have saved this, honest to God. This comedian goes around the country and does these little interviews. He was in a white Christian church. Okay. He says, if Jesus was in your congregation, would he not invite black people in? She goes, yes, he would. And she goes, and he'd be wrong.
What?
What are they teaching in these churches? Now, Jesus is wrong, but yet they're pushing the fear, judgment. It's like, what the hell?
It's whatever serves their agenda.
Anything that
Institutions are going out the door. Institutions are going out the door. Propaganda the second you walk in, corruption the second you walk in, separatism the second you walk in, even into public schools, even into I hate hospitals. I hate any public building. To me, they can all just perish.
What I think is interesting is they're talking about teachers grooming the kids. Okay, what's happening at the head of a lot of these churches with all the sexual molestation and abuse that's popping up with the head of the churches?
No kidding. I seen a thing on that yesterday about a girl who'd been groomed by the pastor, and then when she was like 16, he cheated on his wife with her. Well,
I'm honestly afraid to talk about things in Canada because, like, people. I know people who have talked and voiced opinions in Canada, and like, they're silenced by the president, essentially.
Yeah.
Like we lost our freedom of speech. We lost our freedom of speech when it comes to religion, politics. Like, I'm afraid to even have these conversations in Canada. That's really pathetic. People are losing their jobs, losing their incomes, losing their homes over saying a word. Even I know somebody who literally lived in a different country and had the experience, lived and breathed the different experience, spoke about what they went through and was fired. Like
Yeah,
we,
crazy there.
yeah, like
That's crazy.
Man,
that's bad.
to the gay issue. Today I was modding. I'm not gonna say what room. I'm sure you guys probably already know. But a mod was taken out. Like I saw two different people ask, "Do you read for gay people? Are these readings? Do these apply for gay people?" And she timed them out for those questions.
What
I
the?
was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Wait, what the heck?" I mean, it's Pride Month in the first place, but I mean, they're just asking questions. They're just curious about that. That's not something you see all the time.
I don't ask if you're black, white, green, purple,
Exactly.
gay,
And
anything. I read for everybody.
yeah, so I just posted, take what resonates, but if it's not yours, don't try to force it or whatever, some general message along that line, but like I was just kind of taken aback because I know her, and usually we don't ever have any problems, but I just thought that was a
Sometimes
lot.
I am like, I don't know. In modding, you can, I don't know. Sometimes you see who's having a bad day or see who's having a good day.
But they weren't negative toward the reader or anything like that. They were just simple, do these
I know
apply to
sometimes,
people?
like in chat, I feel like you have to have a lot of patience. Like sometimes things are even said that are misunderstood. Simple as deleting the comment and or
And the people that react, that's a reflection of who they are.
yeah, like a lot of the times, like I'll delete the comment and then I'll even get two or three more. Like to be honest, a viewer like me sitting there that sees some type of spam isn't going to be like, they're not really honestly going to be offended by it. Like it's
Yeah,
just it comes and goes. Like
yeah. Most of the
so.
time I don't spam, but when somebody continues to do it after they've been told and told and told, I'm gonna time you out.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, see, I don't care. I don't care. Spam your emojis. I don't care. I don't.
As
I
I
let
said,
I let
my
it all go.
my email is Rainbow Song. Okay, I've had that for over 30 years before the gay rainbow flag came out or anything. And people always tell me, "Are you gay?"
What don't we know, Casey? What don't we know?
This is way before the flag, everything. But I used to come home every day, and there'd be a rainbow over my house every day.
Well, I'd say my favorite color is rainbow because I love all of the colors. I love brightness. I love, and it's a culmination of all the colors. It's a prismatic factor. It's light shining through water that creates the prism in the first place. So, like to me, that's like it's the accumulation of everything, the rainbow is. So I love the rainbow. I don't care what it stands for or what people think. I'm not worried about what people think. I like it the way I like it, and that's what it is to me. I don't care. And I don't care one way or another what other people are going to do, their
Exactly.
preferences or whatever. That's none of my business. None of my business. And if they're happy, more power to them. I'm not in competition with anybody, and I don't want to see anybody have a bad time. I want everybody to pardon me, I want everybody to have a good time and, enjoy their lives however they see fit. As long as you don't hurt nobody, do what you do.
Yeah, that's one of the things that the Wicca say: do what you will, but harm none.
Harm none, but do what you will. Exactly. I mean, every religion has some sort of aspect or some sort of variation of that, kind
Do
of
unto
like the
others as you would have them do unto you. I grew up. My grandma
exact.
gave me like an iridescent marble with a copper band around it that said that. I have no idea what happened to those marbles. I had them probably about 15 years ago still, but you know, that's something that I've had all my life, and I've tried to live my whole life by that. You
And
know,
Christians persecuting other people for religious practices really, really, really irritate me because, like, okay, so it's your birthday, you're making a wish on a candle, pagan. You know what I mean? There are just so many things that they do. Burning incense, pagan. You know, There are just so many things that they do that was taken from the pagan religions in the first place and put into their rituals so that they would feel more comfortable.
You
You
know,
know?
lighting a candle with a prayer in it is considered a spell.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the word spelling. We talked about this the other day. How abracadabra. I speak as I create, or as I speak, I create. I
Yeah.
can't remember right now. It's frustrated.
Yeah.
Flabber blah blah. It bothers me when people get judgy like that.
And where is our separation of church and state lately?
Oh no.
You know, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, no, not at all.
And
It's
the senator in one of the states, a female senator, said, "Oh, if you've got a triple pregnancy, can't they just take it out and put it in the uterus?" Oh my God.
I don't want to get into politics. That's a whole other rant.
I know. I'm just looking at all this and I'm just flabbergasted because people just go along with it, whatever they hear. There's no free will. There's everything's judgment and
Yeah.
condemnation, and
So
it's like,
I've
what
seen some
the
videos
hell?
that say that the mainstream media is pushing the fact that the Johnny Depp win was a setback for women's rights or whatever.
I
I don't watch mainstream media, so I don't know, but I've seen a couple videos saying that they are kind of pushing that. I'm like, wait, what?
No. What about the abuse that he endured? See, this is the thing. Men go through abuse also.
Yes, they do.
Yes,
Yes, they do. And that was, I mean, Johnny Depp's case
a lot of
was
steps.
huge.
You have to bring that up.
Yes, and his lawyer responded. They said, "Oh, how do you feel about this being a setback for women?" Because that's what Amber Heard said afterwards. She was like, "Oh, yeah, it was a victory for Johnny, but a huge setback for women, or whatever." I'm not sure how she said it exactly, but she said it. That her
I,
loss for women,
I think
and
it's a success for everybody that's been abused.
right. And Camille said, his lawyer said, DV doesn't have a gender.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't. I mean, he was obviously abused. You listen to the tapes and everything else,
Mm-hmm.
she had just hitting him, and the way she talks to him all the time.
When I was going to therapy, my therapist had to have like a half hour between appointments because she had a man that was coming in for therapy and he was embarrassed to be seen. So she had to make sure that everybody was out of the building before he came in because
Right?
he was so embarrassed.
When I lived at the Valley, I'd just be talking, and if I got passionate about something a little loud, this guy who lived there would like shrink back in fear. And I'm like, "What are you doing, dude? Like, I'm not gonna like what's going on?" Like, I'd never heard him in the first place, but he was a victim of domestic violence, battery from a woman, and
Yeah,
she had beat him so long and so often that he would like curl into a ball in the chair and freak out if I got a little bit loud because I'm, a big personality or whatever, and it was scary for him. So I'd have to like really be gentle and talk gentle whenever I was talking to this dude because he was so scarred by it. I'm like, "Look, dude, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not going to do anything to you." I still remember that to this day, that poor guy.
yeah,
He shrink and shake in fear.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I know he never, I mean, he probably would have never, tried to sue her or take any charges against her or anything. But, I mean, he's damaged for the rest of his life.
Exactly.
You know, it does happen. It definitely does happen. And he wasn't some, pushover soft, you know what I mean? Like he was a hard worker. He was a really strong personality too, but whenever it came to a stronger personality woman in the room with him, if I got a little loud, he'd throw a ball in the chair. And it wouldn't even have to be directed at him, if I was just passionate about the subject.
So when I think back a little bit, I think, well, yeah, I've been through a lot. And then I was reading through some of these archetypes and I thought, yeah, well, I have learned to take what I have learned and hopefully turned it into a positive to help other people, I'm not going to have all the answers, but I can encourage you to step forward and be yourself and empower yourself and stuff. So it's like, what are we going to choose to do with it? What are we going to choose to do with it?
What are we going to what?
Choose to do with it.
Oh, yeah.
I can sit in victimhood for the rest of my life. And I struggle with where do I draw the line between staying stuck in my story and telling my story to empower others. That's something I struggle with. Because I don't want to be stuck in my story. But if I can use it for a teaching tool, then I will do that,
And that's a beautiful thing.
I hope so.
I think so.
So it's what do we choose to do? I just, yeah. And like I was saying earlier, Jenna, I did a reading for somebody a couple years ago. Somebody kept telling me, well, why don't you do reversals? I said, I don't like to do reversals because a lot of times, they bring up like negative energy and I try to keep everything positive. Well, I did her reading and everything was negative. I said, I don't like this. I pulled some more cards and I laid them out again and they were negative again. But the common theme was pay attention to what's going on around you because there's something you need to be aware of. She messaged me 3 months later because I told her that. She found out that her boyfriend was molesting her daughter. I was so shocked. I said, that's it, I'm done. I'm not doing readings anymore. She goes, no, you can't do that. You can't do that because you got the message across to me that I need to pay attention and be aware of what was going on. And she says, and if you hadn't told me that, this might have gone on for years. It's like, okay.
Oh my God, I just feel like, oh my gosh, unless my daughter tells me to get the hell gone. I mean, I'm not leaving her side.
I know. It's like, and things like social services come up and they tell you, well, you shouldn't have let this happen to your child. You let this happen. Okay, this is not in my reality to where I would do something like that. Why would I even look for that when it's not in my reality? I would not do that to somebody. And yet they tear you apart and try to make you guilty for everything. And yeah, it's backwards.
That's the institution I'm talking about that are just strictly, there's like everything these days is a procedure and people don't even have passion for their jobs anymore or their careers or what they're doing. It's all about money and greed and they're just doing it to get through the day, which breeds more unhappiness. Like that's one thing I love my job. I didn't care who hated me because I was a female contractor. I loved my job. No negativity could ever bring down the love I had for being outside. Didn't care how cold it was. Loved my job. But we so lack that because if these people who worked in these childcare centers really, I don't know, maybe there needs to be more support for them too as human people who have to deal with this harsh stuff. Like, maybe there should be spiritual classes for them every week, to go through and to release, to cleanse, to, I don't know, something's missing. There's human touch missing. Compassion, empathy.
Well,
I totally have lost my faith in any.
Common sense is gone, and they're trying to turn us into worker drones. I know we don't want to talk politics, but I'm listening to this stuff, and it's like, You know, they're over here having a fit because somebody with a gun was outside the justice's house. What's the difference between somebody with a gun being outside the justice's house and someone with a gun being in the schools? What the hell is the difference? You know, there's just no common sense. I'm looking at this and it's like Hunger Games. This is Hunger Games. Everybody in the Capitol matters, and everybody else is just expenditures, worker drones. You know?
Well, you know, like a lot of people, you know, I have this debate with people too, like to work is to also like Patty and I were talking about this not that long ago, and somebody said, well, you're always working and you're always working for the man. Well, you know,
clear that, put it in the bubble and clear it.
I don't believe that. When I went to work, even though I pay taxes and I contribute to a society, like I still didn't believe that, you know, to have a smaller community, you still need to contribute to the whole. So to say that working for the man, you know, even though albeit the government is bad, to say that, you know, when I pay my taxes, I'm paying it to the man, but it's still creating a road for everybody to drive on. There's still contributions. There's still this, you know, that person built that road, that he built that road for all these people as a road worker. That is a purpose. That is doing something that's for a bunch of people beyond yourself. Like, all of this, you know, me working isn't, and like me just sitting here and just expecting the, you know, like a lot of people abuse the system when they have talents and abilities to contribute to the grand whole. And I look at it as a way that people that are contributing, so, you know, you are working and you are doing these things, like it's in essence, you're just saying, oh, you wasted your life because you worked for the man. And that offends me, because no, you didn't waste your life. People define themselves by their career and their, you know, their successes, and these are their passions. So, you know, I don't know. That can be a fine line for me, saying that even if you can't have anarchy to have a community that functions well. It still can't be archaic. It has to be, people still have to in essence work together to create these communities. You have to do something that's beyond yourself for other people always.
But people haven't been looking at it like that. They're stuck in this rut in things they don't want to be into. But you know what's happening now?
There's so many people that I see are taking advantage.
Well, here, there's a lot of jobs open here because everybody's leaving jobs that they're no longer emotionally satisfied in and going into something that is more satisfying here. Some of the doctor's offices down here had to close down because they didn't have anybody to work as receptionists and stuff.
No, it's different. Like, it's different when you change and you go into something that you're passionate about, or, you know, like, I always think that there is something beneficial to doing something beyond what's for yourself.
Call it the Great Resignation.
Yeah.
Because everybody was like, yeah, screw this working for the man.
Well, you know, there's this kid, and he comes here and he does nothing, but he just takes the government's money and he does nothing, but he has the ability to work, to contribute, to do something. But, you know, he comes here and he goes, I have no purpose, and I have, and it's like, you could spend your days teaching your children, or you could spend your days, you know.
Yeah, because you see that. Did you see that post that I posted up? People ask, what is my purpose? Okay, you took the time to sit down and talk to that crying child. You took the time to tie your dad's shoes when he couldn't do it. You took the time to take somebody to the grocery store. Those are
your caretaker.
Yeah, like it has to be, you know. Now that, I don't know, I guess it's a lot of just what I went through, and like, you know, most recent experiences I had and stuff. But yeah, like, you know, me being I'm staying at home, and now I'm a caretaker, and, you know, my career is kind of out the window right now, but that's still a purpose right now. But
It's
I
temporary.
don't know, I just find like so many people are they just expect, people expect so much, and yet they contribute not enough like reciprocal energy back out there, I find. And those are the people who usually are like, you know, stagnant essentially in your physical reality. You're stagnant because yeah, you're not, I feel like there's something about reciprocal energy out into the greater good, you know, kind of believe in that now, really, essentially more than I ever did. And I don't think it's like for the man. I think you can't just be an archaic society and think that, you know, let's just, sure, you can create like a commune or you can create, but essentially you're going to have to work together to do something, to put together something for more than just yourself.
Some kind of service.
Well,
You
Yeah.
know?
Like,
Yeah.
you can't just sit there.
I love commune life, but I took care of, like, we would get groceries from the store every week. I would make the list. I would go do the shopping. I would bring all that back. And then we would all work every day from 8 to 5, making shit happen around there. Like, we'd be mowing the property, or we'd be building something. We'd be taking, you know, limbs and making mulch. We'd be doing something every day. And then we'd alternate meals and stuff like that. And that's when I quit all the pills, and when I got healthy, really, was that time. I had purpose. I had drive. I had, you know, things to do. I had structure.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, you know, I can understand it. You know, certain people have like, even have honest disabilities, but they can still do, if you can learn how to function in a way that you can function, I feel like sometimes these people should, in a sense, you know, we should always be pushing ourselves, challenging ourselves, you know.
You don't think starting this channel wasn't a challenge for me, an introvert?
What's that?
Oh my God. I was so introverted. I know I'm going to be quiet and introverted tomorrow night because I want to be with a bunch of people I don't know, you know. I could talk to you guys because I know you guys, but this is, you know, for me to come on here and do this was huge, absolutely huge. You have no idea. But it just felt like that. Just like I said, it just irritated me because nobody was teaching grounding and protection. That's so important.
So important.
Yeah.
I still need to work on the protection part. I've been doing the grounding quite a bit.
And you notice a difference?
A big difference. And my energy too.
Yeah.
I mean, and so many things, like just a lot of things, especially my thought process. I don't feel as full in the head. I don't feel as overwhelmed most of the time. The anxiety is better. Now, when I say better, I still don't want to leave the house very much, but on days I do, I can deal with it.
Because you don't take anything for your anxiety anymore?
Nope, I've been off Xanax for a year.
You don't do anything else? Like, I used to smoke a lot of weed.
No, I don't smoke weed very much because, well, frankly, it makes me cough real bad. I have bad COPD, and
you can do like just the herbal blend or whatever it is, right? Like gummies.
Probably bowls or something too. But it also makes me foggy in the brain. I've had a head injury and stuff like that. So, you know, what I can do to try and keep memories, or whatever I can do to, you know, I try to, it's a push-pull. I haven't found anything yet that is a really good replacement for the benzos. As far as
everybody differently too, right? Like, I know, like, if I smoke, I'm like, get everything done.
And see, it depends on the type of weed too, because you know, sativa brings you up, indica is into couch, you know. I mean, I am wholeheartedly, you know, behind it.
Talking about weed.
That's what my garden used to look like. Yeah. Well, you're definitely, like Chris. Oh my God. You've been through hell, girl.
I'm just trying to find some kind of good balance. It'd be nice to find some kind of edibles or a tincture or something that I could take to take the edge off that wouldn't make me brain foggy. That'd
Yeah.
be great.
You should try something with more CBD in it.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely
I don't get to pick and choose here. It's not legal, so it's
Ah,
whatever
yeah.
you've got.
us
Calcium,
Canadians, we're lucky in that way, I guess.
I'd
calcium.
say I've had the same eighth since August.
I used to smoke the same strain of weed for like, 10 years. I never changed it up. I always loved when I smoked and I got everything in my life done in one day because, like, the paranoia, right? I think I might be lazy. So
Oh, I was a daily smoker from dusk till dawn. Like, I get up, I'd have one as big around as my finger before I could even use them. Like, had to. I'm just trying to change things up.
yeah, well, I couldn't do it all day every day because I mean, I would have to get up at 5 in the morning and work, and then my day wasn't done until my day was done. So had to be responsible. But after my day was done, then I partied hard.
Me, it was like coffee. I couldn't even talk to people until I'd had my morning J. Like, it was like, do not talk to me. Not even my kid. Poor kid.
Well, it does affect everybody differently. Some people do. I think in personality sense, they become like a little bit
my
dependent
God.
on it.
I was always so introverted and quiet. So my stepsister nieces told me, come on, get high. This was only the second time I ever smoked pot in my life. Come on, smoke with us. I said, oh, what they'll tell me, oh, go on. So they're all like this, all talk and all sleepy and everything, and I'm over here. It's like it's just the opposite of what I normally was.
Yeah, it lowered your inhibitions.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, like, learn how to live without any substances at all. But I'm shooting myself in the foot because I have days where, I just cannot even check my mail. I can't leave the house at all.
So who does that belong to?
Huh?
Who does that belong to?
Me, I guess.
Start asking.
Everybody's story is so individual, right? That makes me sad.
Why are you sad?
Well, that makes me sad that some days you don't feel like leaving the house.
Oh yeah, it's okay. There was a time when I didn't stay at home, so
You went opposite.
this is growth for me.
I like getting high because I'm going to change the subject. I liked getting high because I saw everything in a different perspective. Like in a completely different perspective, and I actually enjoyed, even a few times once in a while, I would smoke it just to remember what it was like to think that different perspective again. I think it's kind of like enlightening. It can be like used as a tool.
I was always funny about medicines or anything. I remember the doctor saying one time, because I had allergies, he says, well, here, he says, give her this nose spray. I was just a child. Give her this nose spray for her allergies, but be careful, she could be addicted to it. For some reason, as soon as he said she could get addicted to it, I refused to take it. So
what was it?
It was, I think, Afrin nose spray.
Yeah, me too. I refuse a lot of things because they're like.
But as a child, I understood that.
Yeah.
And then I would never smoke pot. I never drank. I never did cigarettes. Never drank coffee. It was always funny about getting addicted.
I partied hard, but I never liked like pharmaceuticals. I never liked anything like that wasn't grown.
JoJo.
Always. Oh, I miss chatting here.
I'd rather grow the stuff than smoke it myself.
Yeah? Do you take an edible or a tincture or anything?
No, I say I'd rather, if I had to choose between smoking it and growing it, I'd just grow it.
I enjoyed growing it when I had the time to grow it. You know, good water is everything.
Yeah.
Good water, good soil, that was everything. I really miss growing it. We used to have like trees like this.
Come in and talk, Jojo.
All right, I'm going to monitor my kid and
Yeah.
see if it's time for, another episode.
Well, Jenna, I sure am happy that you got a doctor
Yes.
and that
Yes.
he's got answers for you.
And you know she's in all our prayers.
I'm so relieved. I know you have to be too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this part of me that, like, even though I popped all 4 tires today, I'm still happy.
How'd you manage to do that?
You know, that might have happened to me back in the day, and I might have been like, angry, I guess, but I didn't even bat one emotional eye at it. I just thought, it was a little bit scary that it kind of happened, because it could have been worse. Like, those pieces of metal could have been, fling up through the windshield in my truck. It could have been worse, right? So I'm just surprised. It was like, that was kind of crazy, but
What part of Canada are you in, Jenna? In Cage?
Toronto.
yeah, I'm right by Toronto. Where are most people in Canada? Toronto. Toronto, or Vancouver.
My
Toronto.
great grandmother was born there. Her parents came over from Scotland.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'd like to get up there and see that sometime. Yeah.
but I definitely don't do Toronto. I don't like Toronto.
I don't see why you would.
I like where I am out in the forest.
What
I
a
think I'm
bit.
gonna have to move soon.
You're going to have to move soon?
Yeah, I'm gonna move soon. I'm done with the city myself too. I've been living here my entire life, but yeah, just the cost of living is too high. The crime's up now. It's like there's no point in me even really being here. If I could do what I'm doing anywhere, as long as I have a
Yeah, I got another buddy there who says it's really, like, we were like, well, go for a walk. Go to a park and go for a walk. He's like, it's too dangerous.
You're gonna get robbed or something. You're gonna get shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I lived in Toronto, like even years ago, this was like 15 years ago when I lived in Toronto for like a short time. I mean, I would carry a weapon. And when I went into my house at night, I would put all these things in my door so that you couldn't get it open. And yeah,
I lived in like the worst area in Toronto growing up, and let's just say it was just a bunch of drug addicts, shit, piss, bullet holes, crime. Let's say someone threw a rocket launcher off the damn balcony.
yeah,
Well,
like I
first-
live right near a bus, like one of those transit stations or whatever they call them, the train. So you got all kinds of people right on the corner there. So I'm like, eh.
So how big of a town is it anyway? Or city?
Pretty big. Millions of
Toronto,
people.
well, Toronto's essentially like Toronto's not just Toronto. Toronto's like all the way from Whitby to
It's called
Yeah.
It's called the GTA.
it's the GTA. Like people just say, oh, Toronto's just that little hub downtown. Well, I don't look at it that way. Toronto's like, yeah. People call Whitby a small town. Like it is not. These are all
That's
like they're one big like
There's
city.
different boroughs. There's 6 boroughs in Toronto.
But it's all Toronto to me. You could tell me you lived in Oshawa, you could tell me you lived in Vaughan, you could tell me you lived in Mississauga. It's all Toronto. Like even Hamilton's becoming part of Toronto. Not yet, but
Oh, they wish.
it's all Toronto for me. I mean,
Population.
these people spend hours in traffic, like hours and hours and hours.
Population's millions. I think it's like over 2 million something.
Oh, it's probably way more than that.
I think it's just actual quote unquote Toronto, but if you include all those other areas, then yeah, it's way more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. GTA population
Yeah, the GTA is way more than that.
2020. 6 million.
6 million.
A 6.5 million.
That's pretty big.
That's that's good.
Pretty
For
dang.
Canada, that's huge. Because
Yeah, that's
most
why
of
I don't like going that way as much as possible. I would have to go down to the hospital. That's why it would take me 4 hours just to get to the hospital, and then just when you get to Toronto alone. It's craziness.
So in the metropolitan Denver area, there's 2,790,000, and that's just a whole big area. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not all the little towns around it either.
Yeah.
Denver was pretty packed too, but people were nice there.
Well, it says the population, the actual Denver is 727,000, but the whole metropolitan area, yeah.
I think the place where I'm at is like 50.
They
30.
killed Big Bear, Weak Next Neighbor. Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm going to check my girl.
I'm getting bombarded with raccoons every night now.
We have chickies, 7 chickies. We hatched 7 chickies. There's one little cute little one that lets you cuddle it. The rest are beasts. I feel bad. I almost want to pull the little cute guy out, but
I raise chickens.
yeah, they smell. My
I have
water bottle leaked today, so
about 50 chickens for a while, and I have one rooster. And every time my son went out to feed the chickens, that one rooster would corner him every time, and I have to go. I'd have to go rescue him.
Yeah, big mean cock.
and I have to protect my daughter from them. All right. Okay.
All right, good. I love you.
You already said you were happy for me. Thank you. Because yeah, it was a good day, even though it was a bad day. It was a good day. It's something, you know.
Oh, you got all our prayers, Fool.
Yeah,
Girls, loves ya.
love ya. Love and light.
I'll probably
good
chat
night.
a little bit. I'll be up, but yeah, I'm gonna call it quits.
Have a good weekend. Have a good night.
Night.
Jojo!
Bye, Jenna. Hola.
Hey, Jojo.
What is happening?
We were just talking. We were on all kinds of subjects tonight.
What? So what happened with Miss Jenna? I kind of saw that she was happy. Was like hopefully there was good news.
Making progress.
Well, good.
We were talking
Progress is always good.
we were talking about how her daughter and I have the same problems. I kind of.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm coming on out.
Did you just wake up?
Yes and no. I did just wake up again and will not be up long, but I came in here to the studio to look and see if some files are rendering correctly and still going, and they are. And I jumped online real quick and saw you kids and thought I would stop in and say hello.
Jojo, meet Cage.
What's up, Jojo? How's it doing? How you doing, man?
What's going on, man? Yeah, I think I've heard you before.
You probably heard me on here. I've been on here maybe a few times now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Working in the garden, getting rid of leaves, stripping leaves.
Yeah, he grows pot. Come on in, Daisy.
Nice.
Legally, I'm in Canada. I have a license there.
Yeah, I'm down in Alabama. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the laws are here. It's just, I don't care. I mean, I definitely don't demonize anybody for it. I feel people should have the right to do it, but I
Not your cup
I
of tea.
myself don't.
Yeah.
Well, I've given up just about anything and everything that can cause any kind of mental effects. I mean, I might have a beer or a drink every now and then, but I try to abstain from just about anything and everything. I
That's
think
good, man.
what
You
guided
don't need that shit. Yeah, you
yeah,
don't need that.
well, what guided me on my spiritual path was a little explosion of anger caused by uh, a quote unquote mood altering drug that I was overdosed with for 10 years.
And what was that?
And Depakote.
Depakote? What the
It's
fuck
a
is that? What is that?
it's a medicine. Originally, it was meant for seizures, but they found it had, again,
It's
quote unquote, mood stabilizing properties. And but they're required to take blood tests when you are administered that test. But the blood labs, because of insurance companies' greeds, blood labs don't test properly for it, and they were testing for the wrong drug. So I was on like 10 times the amount of that medication that I should have been for over roughly about 10 years. And it caused cysts on my pancreas, caused all kinds of problems. So that led to bad things. And now I had surgery early in September, and then
Did you sue
recovered
those
from
idiots
that.
or what? You should have sued the fuck out of
I
them.
can't. Well, it's not because the way the laws are written here in Alabama, there's no legal recourse. But
Oh, wow.
they're working on that now. There's legislation going through right now. They're building up a case to go after that because it's not the doctor's fault. They weren't, they got incorrect information. It's not the blood lab's fault because
It's a
there
pharmaceutical
was a
company.
little marker. It's not the pharmaceutical company fault because they are the ones who said you need to check people's blood when you give them this medicine. I mean, it's kind of a quagmire, but it's because of the greed of insurance companies that led to that. So, but I'm
Yeah.
in a weird way, I'm very, very thankful that it happened because it led me to my spiritual awakening. As painful as that was, and as crappy as it was, if that hadn't happened, well, if my little blow up hadn't happened, I'd probably be dead right now. So, but
So wait, what happened when you blew up? What do you mean by that? You're like, what, you snapped or something?
Yeah, I was having these episodes where I would lose chunks of time. And they thought I was having mini strokes for a while, TIAs or whatever, but I would lose like, 3, 4 hours, 2 hours. Just, I mean, chunks would go missing. And so one night I ended up, I was having a really bad day. I called some friends of mine to help. I told them there was something wrong. Called family members, and everybody just said, no, you're just anxious, just chill, whatever. And then that night I ended up losing 9 hours, and I went off. I mean, that was, yeah. I went to my
what were
wife
you doing?
I went off on a lot of people. I went off on people I shouldn't have. I cut up bank cards and credit cards. I turned everything in my pantry upside down. I straightened up all my paint supplies and reorganized them for some reason. That was the only useful thing I did that night.
What your priorities are?
Yeah, I went. I did. I did all kinds of stuff that night. That again, I don't really remember it, but even though it wasn't, it was me. It was my body. It was my voice. It was me. And I tried profusely to apologize to people afterwards, and the bunch of people just dropped me stone cold and cut me out of their life, and um, it was really sad because even though I mean, I had no control over it, and nor do I really remember it. I've seen, I've got pictures of what I did on like Facebook and other social media platforms, but I really don't remember doing any of that stuff. And it took a while to go through the house and find all the strange things that I did. But, um, you know, I have to claim responsibility for all that as an adult, and it's hard to say that I wasn't responsible for it, or because I don't remember it. I don't remember doing it.
Yeah.
Um, so it was just bad. But I went to the doctor, and they found that it was causing cysts. I got the proper blood test, had to have surgery, went through a ton of therapy, all kinds of stuff. But it was this horrible, horrible incident that led me to find spiritualism, tarot, uh, you know, this channel, my soul family, several people. So if it hadn't happened, I wouldn't be in the place where I am now. And where I am
So,
now is I'm in better shape, healthier, and you know, I, I'm happier now than I've been in 20 years.
well, there you go.
So
Everything happens
it
for a
really,
reason, right?
right, it led me to a really good place, and put me in a, it put me in a good position,
Well,
you
I'm glad
know,
to hear it
so
worked out
that
for you,
so
man.
oh
And
yeah,
and that's
it was
funny. That's
good.
funny though. Like a lot of people, they have to go through some traumatic experiences in order to find, find stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
a
it
common
was
theme.
yeah, it was bad. I mean, it was really bad. I got I mean, I just had a massive I don't know. There was a huge,
Breakdown.
yeah, there was a
You're,
large,
you're, you're in a nervous breakdown or something, or like a mental break or whatever.
basically, yeah. And I mean, there was and immediately afterwards, there was a mass exodus of people out of my life. I mean, they decided that I was just no good, and you know, um,
Maybe
yeah,
that's
it
for
was
the
just
better. Maybe they shouldn't have been in your life in the first place.
right, exactly. And it was because of stress and other little factors that kind of triggered that and set it off. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, it's sad to see people go. I wish those people love and light. I've done my best to try to understand things from their perspective and forgive them for what knowledge they don't want to know. And, you know, you just pick up and move on. And like I said, now, I mean, good Lord, I've dropped 60 pounds, in shape, got my money right, life's on track. And I mean, I've had bad things happen since, but it's I've I'm fine now that I'm much much stronger for it. And my soul family, Miss Casey and other tarot readers and other members of my soul family out there, they've been very very beneficial. And now Crazy Crystal can look forward to handling my big deck. It's coming down the pipeline. Is she even awake?
She's Crystal.
Yeah, I'm awake. I was just listening. I didn't realize I was muted the whole time.
That came out of nowhere, man.
He's
Well,
pulling
Yeah,
the
we're
back.
all waiting for that deck.
yeah. That's what she was
Everyone
saying earlier. She,
back.
yeah, everybody wants to see my deck and get their hands on my deck, and I'm making it a 2.75 by 4.75, so it'll be a big deck.
He's making a deck that's featuring like on the different cards that it's readers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll
That's
be
an
well, and
interesting
that's
concept.
that's
Huh?
the painted deck. And that one's gonna take a while. Let me tell you. There's two other decks that I'm working on that will take much less time to produce. So I'm gonna start out with those first. The painted one, that one's gonna take a hot minute, but it will be glorious once it hits the market. So I'm looking
How
really
much?
forward to it.
I
Ma'am?
kind of noticed that I'm getting more interested in sitting down and doing some painting now. I have one done out of an oracle deck, so we'll see how long it takes me to get the other 44 or 45, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of artwork. There is a lot more production time, even in just doing like I'm doing one that's just a hand drawn deck, and even that is, I mean, it's still 78 pieces of art based off the standard tarot deck. That's a
Exactly.
lot of artwork. And then you've
Yeah.
got the backs, then you've got the packaging, then you've got the booklet that goes with it. I mean, it is an intensive effort.
Yeah.
So right now I've got 8 tarot decks planned and 3 oracle decks planned. And then 2 sets of playing cards, one that's regular and one that's marked.
One day I
So
should bring my friend on here. He's like the leader. He was like the leader in Vancouver, the Tahuti Temple of the Golden Dawn, and they're heavy into the whole tarot thing. They take tarot to another level, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like
yeah.
mainstream. It's not what the general public gets.
I know.
Well, it's gonna be good. I've got roughly like, I want to say I've got 32 cards left in the hand drawn one, and then that'll come out. And then, like I said, the painted deck, that one is just gonna take a while. I'm only like 20 paintings in right now, and no, nobody sees those. Uh, you know, nobody gets to take a peek at those until it is completely done and printed and out. And I've had several complaints about that.
Oh
But
my
damn it,
God.
if it's going out with my name on it, it's going out my way, and it will be perfection. you know. So
But
I've
the
got a lot of work to do there.
but the perfection is the art creates itself.
Yeah, there's no
True.
mistakes, only accidents.
Yeah, I put severe intention into every card, especially the ones that I'm painting.
Yeah.
I usually try to do a meditation. I'll plan it out graphically, and I meditate every time before I go and work on a single card. It's gonna, you know, I mean, besides just the painting, then I've got to have photography done of the painting, then go and color correct it. Then there's the setup of the borders and, doing the page layout for it. It is a lot of work. But everything in my life, everything in my career has perfectly primed me to do this work. So when it got plopped into my lap by the universe, I was like, all right, I can do
And
this.
nothing of value is easy to do. So it's a good sign.
Yeah, and
Okay. Put that in the bubble and clear that. That doesn't have to be like that.
Well, most of the time, not all the time. For most things, right? Like you have to put in the work in order to get what you put into it. Really.
But yeah, that's what the universe will give you anything you want, but you've got to put in the effort too. It's not going to have
Yeah,
it
exactly.
silver platter.
Yeah, you're gonna have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Right, and luckily, this is work that I absolutely love doing. I mean, I've been drawing, painting, or scribbling on something, whether I was supposed to or not, since I was 3 years old. I mean, well, I'll start painting something and I'll look up and it's 11 o'clock, and then I look up 15 minutes later and it's 5 o'clock. I'm like, oh shit.
I've been
So I definitely disappear into it.
So my
I
two and
just
a
love
half,
this.
my
Go
two
ahead.
and a half year old granddaughter comes in and grabs a pencil and paper and she draws, and then she hands it to me and I draw something and then she draws something and we pass it back and forth. So what were you gonna say, Crystal?
Yeah.
I really love doing pet readings. You want me to read for Gumbo, JoJo?
Oh, sure. How is Gumbo doing? He's God love him. I've had to leave him here a couple of times over the past couple of weeks, and I know
What?
he's been sitting at the front door. I've had to leave him here. I mean, not for days or anything. I mean, just for the day. He's used to me being here all the time because I work at the house. I don't, go to an office or anything. And on the
That's our
days when I do leave and I come back, his fat butt is sitting right there at the front door, giving me the evil eye, and like, hey, buddy, I haven't had treats in 10 whole hours. I can see the bottom of my food bowl, and famine is imminent. Get your ass in here and get to work. Because I live in his world.
Gumbo's feelings towards JoJo. Ooh.
Yeah, Tinky's not gonna be happy tomorrow night when they go to that wedding.
Venusaur's reverse. He's bitchy right now.
Yeah,
King Gumbo,
yeah. See,
you love him. You ain't expressing enough love.
yeah,
Oh,
he's
hey,
been on me a lot.
working out.
I've been trying to pay him a little extra attention, but he, I mean, ever since my birthday was last Friday, and since then we've been shooting stuff, so I've been on set for hours at a time, or I've gone. I had to go get some stuff done to the car. Been out with some friends for birthday shenanigans, and so I've been gone a little bit more than I usually am here recently. So yeah, I bet he's a little pissy.
Venusaur's reverse was the first card out. Yeah, he's pissy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
fat.
Oh, he's let me know it too. He's a 34-pound gray furry basketball with claws. So
Yeah.
he's let me know it. I got a few little scrapes and scratches and little love nibbles, but I've been trying to give him some extra treats and show him a little bit of extra love.
How old is he?
I'll go back in. Gumbo is right now. I would assume he's 11. I'd have to look at his paperwork to make sure, but I think he's right around 11 or 12. But my other cats, the other two that I had, which were also rather large, they lived to be in their 20s. So he's well taken care of. He'll yeah, he'll live to be a ripe old man. It's like a living alarm clock.
Yeah, my neighbor has got 3 cats, and she says one of them keeps getting them up at 3 o'clock in the morning. What now? They're ready to strangle her.
Yeah, he just, if he gets a little irritated or sees the bottom of his food bowl, whatever. I know if his litter box gets too full, because he'll walk up in front of it and he'll just leave one little nugget right in front of the litter box, just one little steamy brown trout right there, as if to say, "Hey, garçon." Oh shit! All right, let me get to it. You know,
Oh,
clean
they
the
got
litter box out.
That's how
Oh
mom's old
yeah,
cats.
he does.
like
He'll
I couldn't
definitely let me know.
earlier. She was blocked on the stairs between the fan and the door. Yeah. Yeah. So, Kate,
Anything else you can tell me about Gumbo's feelings?
I put him up. You got a catnip ball?
Okay.
That would help. Pet him a lot. Express your love to him.
I will. I do have some catnip. I'll give him some and some of his wet food before I go to bed again.
What were you gonna say, Casey?
I don't remember now. I forgot.
Did I ever show
I'm
you
sorry,
guys
I
this
didn't
book
mean
I
to
found?
disrupt you.
Yeah, let's do the book again, Cage.
Yeah.
You have a question for me?
Do I have to say the question out loud?
Say it. Just close your eyes and say it 3 times in your head.
Okay.
I got one.
It says he goes with her. What does that mean? I don't know what you asked it, but that's what he got. You got to do it one at a time though, because now both questions are being asked. Yeah?
Okay.
Got it?
All right, buddy.
All right, tell me when to stop.
Okay. Stop.
There. I got the same thing again. Fuck. What are the odds of that?
That's crazy.
Weird.
So let me ask my question again. Okay.
It says the possibility was ruled out.
Oh, I definitely got to get in on this.
Here, let's
Let's
ask
see.
one out loud so we can see it. Ask one out loud, Jojo. We'll see it.
This
We'll
book's
do it
got.
for you.
Wow.
It has an attitude problem.
All right. Everybody keeps saying, well, several readings and different whatever say that my ex is coming back. So is my ex actually coming back?
All right, we'll see. I should look out if I were you.
Oh.
Yeah.
You gotta be a little bit careful with that one, according to the book.
Yeah. Well, I would assume so. I mean, well, she ghosted me. That was my fiance, but she ghosted me after that little blow up episode. So, yeah.
I've been trying to think for 4 years already.
Here, I have a question. Jojo, for the book.
Sure.
Should Jojo move on? Should he forget about all these people in his past and move on?
That's what I'm trying to do.
That's a pretty wise question,
It
Cage.
says you have the final say. Literally, that's what the book says. You have the final say. So that's up to you, my friend. It's up to you.
Yeah.
I mean,
those people are the people that decided to leave my life were, I mean, there were folks that I'd known for 30, 35 years. So they're all good friends. I wish them well. I wish them love. Like I've tried to be extremely understanding because what happened was bad. And I hand wrote apologies to everybody. I've tried to, take accountability for everything that I could and explain the circumstances. So there's a lot of animosity there towards me, and I just have to try to see it from their perspective and have I still have love in my heart for them, and I still wish them well. Yeah.
Time.
And
Just more. How long ago did this happen?
Oh, this was a year and a half ago.
Let's give it a little more time, man. Just give it a little more time.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of healing work and come back, and I'm focused on physically healing, mentally healing, and spiritually healing. I mean, I've kind of changed my life around to work on me, and that's all I can do. I mean,
your words don't really matter. Okay, your words don't matter. You got to show them through your actions. Change as an individual, they'll see the change, and then I'm pretty sure they'll be good with you after that. So just continue,
right.
Continue improving yourself, and everything will fall into place.
Exactly.
And
I mean,
Casey's showing some cards here.
Yeah, what's for me will come to me.
Yeah.
Jojo,
Yes,
First
ma'am.
thing I pulled up was judgment. Anything that you thought was over and done with is not over and done with. This is a person or a situation coming back. Okay?
Yeah.
I do think that they are going to recognize the changes you've been through because there's forward movement and success. People recognizing you for who you are at this point in time. Okay? And the
Right.
third one is the Empress. Pregnant with possibilities. Just keep being loving and gentle and nurturing and stuff, and you'll make it happen.
Yes,
Mhm.
ma'am. I appreciate that. I've done a lot of work on myself in the past year and a half, and the thing is, being on that medication for as long as I was, it obviously caused me a lot of anger issues and a lot of problems over those 10 years. Because you're talking about a psychoactive substance that does affect the brain, and it definitely affected my ability to produce from my body to produce serotonin and melatonin,
Yeah.
and cause sugar problems in the meantime. So now that that's been solved, I feel like a whole new person. I mean, basically, I've been poisoned for 10 years. And so now I've finally gotten back to myself. I went to the
Yeah.
doctor in the first place because I was young and I was irritated and I was having a little bit of frustration with things that I couldn't seem to resolve myself. And I'm more than intelligent enough to see that I'm not intelligent enough to navigate everything. So I went to seek professional help to talk to a therapist.
And of
And
course,
the
they gave you a
therapist
pill that.
recommended,
Yeah.
right. And instead they kept me in therapy and gave me a pill. Unfortunately, they gave me a lot of those pills. But I was in a bad way for a long time, and kept going to the doctor to solve these issues,
Yeah,
and
but you
never
can't
really.
solve what that is. That's just a band-aid or a crutch. There's obviously there's an issue, most likely childhood or the way you grew up that's keeping you down like that and making these.
Right.
You have to stem. You have to finish the issue and where it starts, right? The root cause.
I'll
Look
tell
at
you
That's the
this.
only way
I
to.
mean, and do not let me discourage anybody that hears this from, if you think you need to see a therapist or a psychiatrist or a psychologist, please do so. There's
Mhm.
there is no shame in getting help. But I can tell you that over the past year and a half, what I've learned in going through all this is that I have a much greater ability to heal within myself than talking to other people, and learning,
But sometimes
going
we
through and learning those lessons, learning those spiritual lessons, and truly learning how to sit down and heal and go within, has helped me in vast volumes more than any therapy could. But that's not to discredit the value of therapy. I mean, just sitting down and talking to someone is sometimes worth its weight in platinum. I mean, I know what worked for me. That might not work for everybody else or other people, and so that's why, like I said, if anybody out there hears this and you think you want to, talk to a therapist, talk to a psychiatrist, please do so, and do not give in to any of the shame or fear of anybody, you know, that places a stigma on mental health care at all.
yeah, they don't know nothing.
Just ask a lot of questions if they give you a pill.
Yeah.
Do
Oh
your
yeah.
homework. But and like I said, it's been a very strange, amazing journey, and in a weird way, as painful as those lessons were, uh, I'm very grateful that I got to go through them, and
Yeah.
I'm definitely very grateful for the results of what's happened in my life, because I know my life has improved by leaps and bounds, since, well, especially after surgery. It took me about a month and a half to really heal after that kind of surgery, and since then, chemical levels are right. Blood tests all come out normal. I was able to get off of those medications. I'm still on one regular cholesterol medication, but other than that, like I said, I'm in better shape than I've been in 20 years. Feeling good, looking good, smelling good. Oh, watch this Gemini King rock, baby.
I think that you're going to run into some of those people that walked away from you, and you're going to sit down and have a conversation with them, and they're going to see all the changes that you've gone through, and I think that it's going to go back to her. And I
Well,
keep fighting this number.
yeah, I mean, it probably will. I know with the media stuff that I'm working on right now, I mean, we're filming movies and little comedy skits. I'm going to be in a, podcast, all kinds of stuff. So
Oh
I'm definitely,
no!
it's that's all about to get released. And once it does, I'll definitely be in the public eye a hell of a lot more than I have been because I have been a true hermit for the past year and a half. When I
And
step out onto the,
you
yeah, it'll
take your
go big time.
everything with you. What? How did it go to the
Oh,
strip
it
club?
went well. Yeah, that was insane. The one-legged stripper. Um,
What?
yeah, yeah. We had to film this. We had to film this thing in a strip club,
What's
and
her name?
One-legged stripper.
his name. We had a girl that was in a car accident, and she was going to be the one-legged stripper, but then she backed out of the project. So we had to call in a guy who dressed up in drag and did the one-legged stripper part. And
Oh, God's sake.
it was, yeah. And then one of the hosts on the show, Bill, he was in drag for it. I I told Kevin and the people that I'm working with, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to go back to therapy after this.
Why
It was
was
an
he a priest?
amazingly it was an amazingly fun and strange day, but a very rewarding experience. I mean, they're all great people, and I think everybody will be happy with the results when they do get published and released. It's quite a funny skit, and I mean, there's much more to come. We've got Bigfoot, aliens, us eating raw fish picked straight up out of the river. There's
Gross.
Jojo,
apparently,
Jojo. You know what?
yes, sir.
Look at this. You see this? I find a bunch of weird shit all the time. Like this book I found on the ground a couple weeks ago. I
Uh-huh.
found this stuff. I found this thing in the forest, which I probably already showed you guys before.
That's a really cool picture.
That.
Yeah, it has a bunch of weird symbolism on it. But yeah, I tend to find these things like this, just like this place there for me to find. You know, let's add. You want to ask it a question about your career, what direction you want to go in, or what to do? Because it gives really good answers. I'm
Uh,
telling you.
well, sure. Ask, am I on the right path with the tarot decks? Producing tarot
Okay.
decks.
Should JoJo continue producing tarot decks?
Oh well,
Okay.
should JoJo? JoJo's going to. Period. But
Huh. Honestly, wait. She fought honestly for a just cause and for freedom. So I think he fought honestly for just cause and for freedom. So you're saying maybe that's what it's doing, right? Like you're just cause, and you're trying to have cause and effect and freedom through this, through understanding these
yeah,
teachings.
the way right, yeah, the way that I've looked at this is, I mean, artwork's always been therapeutic, but I figure it's not just therapeutic for me to do this kind of artwork, but the one of the reasons that I want to put it out is A, to be able to sustain myself, and B, gain monetarily. But the main overall gist of it is to help other people through
Understand these things, yeah.
the same kind of situation and situations that I was in. And so it's not, even though, yes, there are benefits for me, that those are kind of the side effects of it, because the main purpose is to create artwork that readers can then use as a different source of inspiration and intuition to truly help other people.
Make sure you put in all kinds of little symbols in there, you know.
Oh, there are. It's one of the things that's taken so long is there's so much symbolism and there's so many little nuances and things that are going to be hidden in it. Not really hidden, I should say. There are some things that are hidden in the artwork. I'll give you that hint. But I won't be. I'm keeping track of all of them, but I don't know that I would ever put that little list out to the public. But as people go through and they see this artwork and they find it, I know readers should be really, really happy with it because this will give them fresh new perspective on the traditional tarot and modern tarot decks that are out there. It's going to be, I mean, it'll be similar because it's a tarot deck, but it'll be vastly different than anything anybody's seen before.
I heard one of
I've
the
got
best
some.
decks. Have you guys heard of the Crowley deck or the Thoth deck? I don't really like Crowley, but I heard his tarot deck is one of the best decks out there for some reason. I'm not sure.
And the thought.
The Thoth deck, the Crowley deck. Yeah.
Or Marseilles, however you
But
say it.
here, I have something important for you guys. It's in the private chat. Definitely take that link and bookmark it. There's like an unlimited amount of information there. It's called Library Genesis. And pretty much anything you want to type in. You can type in tarot, you can type in whatever, any subject or any book or anything like that. It's on there, and it's like really hard to find books you're not going to normally find. And it's 100% free. So I recommend looking into that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff on there.
Jojo, hopefully you put Gumbo, the mighty Gumbo, as the cat on the strength card. Are you there, Jojo?
I think you went to check out that link for a second.
Oh, yeah, I must have.
That's a really good one. You got to bookmark it, though, because they always should, the name changes. We change the name sometimes.
I don't want to click on it because I don't lose it.
Well, if you right click it and then copy it and then open a new tab, you can look at and bookmark it. And right click it and copy the link. Or just type that in. Just libgen.is.
I'm just copying link. I'll do it later because if I go off here, I'll come
Some
back
real
in.
good stuff, though. Really good stuff in there.
Cool.
Like there's books that I want to be able, like there's some books that I like reading that are like $1,200, $2,000. I'm like, yeah, right. I'd just go on LibGen, get it for free.
Oh, that's priceless information, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No problem.
I sent you the stuff on the camping. As soon as I grounded myself, it all came to me. I wasn't grounded. That's why I couldn't think of anything.
When what?
I couldn't think of the name of everything to give you for the campground. But once I grounded myself, everything came to me. So I sent it to you on Instagram.
I had the weirdest experience the other day. I was at a concert with my buddy and this other guy. I know he knows about energy, but I don't know how much. He just, like, once in a while, he'll post something, some kind of meme that has to do with it. You know, I don't know if he does a tarot or anything like that. A friend of mine, I don't see him very often, but just at shows. I haven't seen him in probably a year. Well, he was sitting behind me, and I had a couple drinks, and so, like, I kept grounding myself to, you know, because I'd get too bubbly or something like that, you know, and I was just practicing grounding. And every time I did, he'd holler behind me. He'd start yelling at the band, you know. I was like, wait, what? That can't be right. So I tried it again just to see, and he did it again. So I don't know if he's an energy reader or what. I'll have to ask. That was trippy.
Interesting.
I can see you getting overly bubbly.
By grounding yourself, that means you're okay. all human brains are all connected to the Earth's magnetic field. It's measurable. And for example, there's been studies at the Laurentian University. Pretty much have two people in a dark room, black room, completely, black, and they'll hook them up to EEGs, and they'll put like a certain magnetic field with solenoids around their heads, right? And when they're both induced in a certain magnetic field, if you shine a light in one room, the other person in the dark room will have the same neurons light up. So meaning like their brains are interconnected.
Yeah.
So maybe by grounding, you're putting that energy onto him, making him yell something. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
Jenna said the baby fever broke.
oh good.
Yeah, I
Good
just
deal.
read that.
Good
Yeah, I went to
deal.
bookmark that link, and I guess if you bookmark the link, it completely wipes out the StreamYard stream,
Yeah,
which is weird because it's in the same software. So why would you?
it just
That's weird.
Forget about it.
It's a hard website to find you. It's not listed on Google or anything.
that's cool. I'm behind about 20 books right now though.
That's insane. I have like a never-ending list.
Well, yeah, I've tried to take some inspiration from other decks that are out there, but for the most part, I go based off of the traditional, Rider-Waite tarot and the meaning of that card, and then what I've learned is the meaning of each card, like my interpretation of it, which is not much different than traditional, but there are subtle differences. And then the way that I'll produce this, like I said, I look at it as a project that I think will help millions of people while I'm still here on the planet, and billions long after I'm gone. So I'm going to try to produce these in a way that they will build. It will build a generational uh, company that will help people for
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
That's like when I look at the devil, I see the programs, the addictions, the belief systems we have, that all those fears that keep us from living our lives. Okay, that's what
Right.
the devil card means to me. So, and I was telling somebody that one day, and they said, I was always confused about what the devil meant. She says, but that makes a lot of sense. You know, what is all that fear and everything meant to do except to hold us back? You know, and
Right.
that's like I ask somebody,
Yeah.
what's the opposite of love? They tell me hate. No, it's not hate. It's fear. Fear is underlying everything. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of the way we've kind of been programmed in modern society and how we live today is taking away a lot of human intuition, human ingenuity. People are,
Programmed against.
people are so programmed for a push button response. They want it now, now, now. They have no patience, whatever. By the way, just as a side note, as I look at your picture there, Miss Casey, on screen, I noticed that you've got that backdrop, so it makes you look like you have angel wings.
He sees an angel.
There you go.
It's an eagle. That's my totem.
It's very
I have,
pretty.
I
But
have another one that's a phoenix, and it does the same thing. When I put them up, I never even thought of that until somebody doing readings. They start telling me that.
yeah, I just happened to look over and noticed that you had wings behind you. I was like, wait a minute.
So speaking
She
of
can
garden
fly.
leaders, I had
If she can
compliment
fly, that
flowers
has got to
today.
cut down on delivery services.
Oh, that's funny.
So I had somebody pop
Yeah.
in
So I was
in a
talking about one of the archetypes earlier, and they said, was it intellectual? It was talking about how we do not tap into the spiritual teachers, the age, the sages, the mystics and stuff anymore to tap into their knowledge. Our society doesn't let us do that anymore, you know, and it made a lot of
No.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you can tell how programmed somebody is. I didn't ever really pay attention to it until I watched the series about the Unabomber on Netflix. And there's this scene in there where the detective, they caught him and they're interviewing him and everything, and they're writing back and forth to each other, and he's talking about how he's sitting at a red light at 3 o'clock in the morning. There's no cars coming in any direction, and because the light's red, he's just sitting there in his car completely still, and his life is held up and stopped because of this red light. And that's I thought that was an amazing example of how programmed we are by modern things. And not that you shouldn't stop at red lights, but I mean, if there's traffic coming, yeah, do it. But with him pulling up to a red light at 3 o'clock in the morning with absolutely no other cars around, nobody coming, and yet he still feels the need to sit there at that red light until it turns green before he goes. And Miss Casey's right. We definitely don't. People don't tap into that kind of, I don't know, intuition or personal progress anymore.
What was
And
it?
it's things like that.
What's the name again?
Ted
Ted Kaczynski.
Kaczynski. Yeah, you know the CIA blasted the guys when he was in Harvard or before Harvard. They did experiments on him and fucking dosed him with high LSD dose without his knowledge and all that.
There was a mini series of movies done for, I believe it was for Netflix, about the Unabomber, and it was about the detective who went into the CIA and the FBI, who came up with all this stuff, all of these different methods to profile a serial killer, and how his methods were seen as, crazy and out there or whatever, but yet they caught Ted Kaczynski. And then it's an amazing it's an amazing series. It was really good, but I mean, unfortunately, sometimes in this world, brilliance is seen as crazy.
Well,
so,
you know what? Like,
yeah.
you should have been mailing bombs to people, but he's actually right about
Yeah, exactly.
the stuff he's right about a lot of the shit he's saying. But
exactly. He was very correct about
technology.
that. But
technology is more dangerous than a nuclear bomb. That's what Elon Musk is saying to all these people. AI and stuff.
Sending people bombs is never a good idea. No, if your intent is to hurt other people, you have automatically gone down the wrong path.
I think that's because they fucking blasted his brain. They fried his brain with shit. Yeah? That's another thing.
What were you saying, Crystal?
Your microphone's crackling.
Mine is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going all weird. I thought I was the only one hearing that.
It very well could be. I mean, I'm just going through a set of headphones. So I'm actually fixing to run off and go to bed.
Casey kicked herself off.
She went to have her a cocktail of some sort. I feel certain of it. Anyway, well, I'm going to jump. Y'all do send my love to Miss Casey, Jenna. I'm very glad to hear that you're happy or that things have improved. I'm glad the fever broke on the little one. I'm going to go my happy butt to bed. I'm tired.
All right, JoJo.
Been a long
Good
day.
night.
I passed out earlier. woke up to that. I'm gonna go give Gumbo treats first, though.
Gumbo catnip. He's feeling neglected.
I will. Yeah, I'll get him the catnip and the treats and the wet food. I'll do that and make sure I do it before I go to bed.
Snuggle cuddles. He needs that.
Yeah, I will. I'll get him in the bed. He'll have his nice furry spot. He'll be all good. Anyway, love you guys. You take care of yourselves, and I will. I'll probably be on here next Friday.
Good night, JoJo. Love and light.
Love and light. Bye bye.
Later,
Bye.
man. Okay. Damn headphones died.
Yours died?
My headphones.
Casey's trying to get back on. She says she can't get the camera to work.
That's weird. Tell her to refresh. Maybe refresh the browser or something.
Casey, can you try to refresh it? I think she can hear it.
She's in the backseat of her own show.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it says like your camera can't connect, or I don't know what you mean. Usually when I refresh, it works.
Sometimes.
Yeah, there you go. It worked.
It worked, yep. Had to put a different camera on too.
Did you?
Yeah. Old different camera. The old one. I don't know what's wrong with this other. This other one's new. I used it the last couple times, so I don't know. Oh well.
What's your picture this time, Cage? Is that leaves?
Yeah, just leaves of different colors of fading. You know, you got purple and all that.
There we go. Now we see you.
Fun stuff. Jason.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I was wondering if Jason was still here.
So you know how we were talking about different card meanings earlier?
Say it
I had
again.
someone pop into the chat and say, how come you tarot readers on YouTube read the death card as change when it really means death? Like, lady, have you read the book? I'm like,
WB Yeats. Okay.
I'm just working away over here. Stuff done.
You're gonna be up all night doing that?
No, I'm almost done for now. I always have stuff to do, but
that's gotta be cool, though, the freedom.
I told you the story about my grandson, didn't I?
What?
I told you the story about my grandson.
What? No, I don't know. Maybe.
you said something. I think you did tell me someone stole his plants or something.
The police were following him because they were all Hispanics and they all had nice cars and lived in a nice house. So they got a search warrant, raided the house. He had a greenhouse set up in the back, pulled all these plants. Didn't even ask if anybody had a medical marijuana license, and they all did. But they pulled plants. They apologized later to him and said, "Wow, those are the best plants we've ever seen."
You got a compliment from the cops.
Yeah, and he goes, "Well, why were you guys picking on us?" He says, "Because you're all Hispanic and you all drive nice cars." They all have good jobs, all of them. They all have good jobs. You know?
Yes.
So, yeah. And he decided not to sue.
Yeah, the U.S. is weird. So.
Yeah.
We think Canada's weird.
Now, when it comes to their laws and stuff,
I know.
That is more lenient with everything.
Went to Canada today, and she sent me some tea. And I mean, this thing doesn't weigh very much at all. Maybe a couple ounces. And it cost her, it says right here on the outside, cost her $9.50 to send this.
Oh, wow.
Small.
Can't you just buy a box at the post office now for like $5? And that includes the postage?
Not from Canada. The shipping to and from Canada is ridiculous. I was looking at sending my other friend up there some candles. And, you know, I'm on Amazon. And I'm like, hey, man, I found these candles for like $8. You know, would you like these? And he was like, yeah, but the shipping's going to kill you. So I switch over to shipping to Canada, you know, and check it all out. And it was like the price on the item went up to $30, and the shipping on it was like 10 or $15.
Wow.
I was like, I would have been fine with the $8 and maybe $5 shipping. No, everything is going to be $10. It's
Wow.
costing the
That's crazy.
really
If
crazy.
you want, it's because you're on Amazon.com. If you go to .ca, it'll be regular prices.
What's .ca?
It's the Canadian one.
You mean like Amazon.ca?
Yeah, if you go there, if you want to buy something for your friend, just go on .ca. You'd maybe have to make an account with their address under it, and then just put your credit card on it and send it to them. You'll get free shipping. You can get a free month of Prime, and then just cancel it, and it's doing free shipping or anything. It'll probably be free shipping anyways.
Huh.
Yeah, in Canada, I could buy something on Amazon like like at nighttime and get it in the morning. It's that quick.
Yeah.
Over here,
He lives in Toronto too. All the prices on the Canada, well, you know, I switched to the Canada pricing guide too on it, trying it a different way. And all the pricing was way, way up for the same box of like 40 candles or whatever. It was like triple.
Wow.
it's because if you put a Canadian address on the .com version, it's going to be like that. It's going to go on the .ca version of it. It's the same thing, just the Canadian Amazon Canada.
Well, he was looking from his, you know, because I was like, well, if you can find him there, maybe there's a way, you know, we can figure it out. He was looking on his, and it was still triple.
Wow. That's crazy.
Maybe that product's not available here or something.
Yeah, I mean, I expected a few dollars difference, but not triple.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes, it is, isn't it? I was going to ask Jenna if they've dropped the shots requirement because they're not asking for shots for the airlines anymore here.
No, you can't leave. You can't leave the country unless you're vaccinated.
Yeah, she couldn't leave or get back in if she wasn't
I'm being held hostage.
in your home country, right?
Yeah.
That's not good.
So ridiculous.
Well, at least they're letting us fly all over again. Yeah.
Because
Well,
technically,
I mean,
I'm forced to be in Canada right now unless I get like they literally have like a needle to me. They're like, you can't leave unless you get this. And it's like, come on, that's craziness.
Yeah. I guess you guys do have the public health care stuff, so to keep their costs down, they want people to get the shot, you know?
Yeah. It's just
Yeah, but if I want to just leave and never come back, I still have, it'd still be like that. Not just like leaving and coming back in like a week.
you got anybody down here in the States?
No, I'm saying if I wanted to, let's say, I couldn't though.
Yeah. So you're moving to the country pretty soon, huh?
Maybe. Not country. Like I'm just a little bit further away. I want to be within like an hour or so.
Well, I would get something with a little bit of property, throw up a few locked greenhouses and expand your growing.
Here you go.
He doesn't seem too enthused with that idea.
No, it's a good idea. I like doing indoors though,
Yeah. Well, the greenhouse is indoors.
kind of. And then the bugs though, the bugs are gonna get me.
It's funny.
Surprised that Jack Wolf and Star Crossing didn't come back.
Well, I think Jack got busy and Star was dealing with her daughter.
Oh,
She was getting her, going through her clothes and stuff and getting her ready to go to camp. Because she was supposed to come on and do the numerology tonight.
Oh.
Yep, daughter stuff.
That's cool.
I've been looking heavy into gematria lately. It's interesting, which is like, it's like real, like I guess it'd be like mainstream stuff would be like numerology, New Age, or whatever. But it's pretty much gematria. It's where it comes from.
What about the grand human design encompasses like 5 different modalities.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was dreaming something about it. What the heck was I dreaming?
What the quintessence, the 5? That's why we have 5 fingers. But so gematria, like for example, like things like black or white. If you do like full reductions on them, they'll have like opposite values. They'll be like 7, 7, 11, 11 for white, and then like 11, 11, 7, 7 for black. It's like encoded in all their words, like certain things with different meanings. Like have opposite word. Certain, you know what I mean? Words with opposite meanings have opposite.
Yeah, because
values.
we're encompassing the human design, the numerology, the astrology, the our archetypes are part of that. I have a healing book earlier. I was looking at it, and he gives you ways to go in and go into like a meditation and look at what your archetypes are, and learning how to work with those archetypes in order to manifest and create your best life. But he was, talking about the different modalities and stuff that's in this area that he was talking about running into. And I said, yeah, that's kind of like saying, yeah, everything's there. It's all in this circle, this bubble, all these different modalities all brought together to create who we all are individually, Yeah. Fun stuff.
I still like that bottle of pills you found was from the guy who first got you on this path.
I know. I didn't see that until yesterday. And it's like, what the heck? He's the one that's changed my life in the first place. And here he is again.
Changing your life again.
45 years later.
What bottle of pills? What is this? What you guys mean?
Okay, so this COVID knocked down my immune system, so I had all these other problems popped up, all these viruses that can kill you that are normally not active. They all popped up, right? That's why I've been so sick. And I keep telling all the doctors, it all comes down to the intestinal tract. And they all look at me, yeah, except for my primary care doctor. He understands because he's a naturopath too. So I've been going to the food bank for a month. Every Friday, I would go in and I would see this bottle on the shelf. Okay. I said, what the heck? I finally said, what is this? It's been in my awareness for a month now. It's GI Tract Wellness. I said, okay, there's a reason I've been seeing this bottle, right? And I looked at it yesterday, herbal supplement formulated by Michael Tierra, LACOMD. So he's a herbalist and like a homeopathic doctor and stuff. He wrote the first book I ever got on healing. It's called The Way of Herbs by this guy. I used that to shift about 50% of my illnesses. I started clearing a lot of the stuff up, the candida and lots of infections and stuff with using herbs from his book. And then I look at this and it's like, what the hell? There he is again. Back to change my life again, you know?
That's a coincidence, if you want to call it that.
There's no such thing as a coincidence.
Exactly.
No such thing as a coincidence.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
And she's already seen improvement.
Within 2 days. Because I felt like I couldn't breathe deep into the abdominal area. Now I can breathe really deep. And when I went to the doctor on Thursday, I went in, sit down, and my oxygen's usually really low. But this time it was running between like 88 and 91. And she says, the nurse says, well, maybe you just need to turn your oxygen up. I didn't look at it. Till I got to the car, the damn oxygen wasn't even on. So I'm getting close to not needing it anymore. He wasn't sure that I was ever going to get off of it. But I did too much yesterday, and then when I got home, I was trying to unload stuff from the car to the house without the oxygen on, and I almost passed out. So, and I'm sure part of it is, how many years have we been home with COVID now? I'm sure being out of shape, not getting out and doing all these things also has something to do with it. So, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I just looked at that yesterday. I said, what the hell? I didn't know he made these herbs. Wow, making a shift in my life again 45 years later.
I just like that.
I'm pretty sure you're not going to need the oxygen anymore.
That's what I think too.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I told somebody, he goes, well, are you going to be on oxygen the rest of your life? I said, not if I can help it. Yeah. So it's interesting. And like I said, there's no such thing as a coincidence.
So have you heard of light language?
Yes. Yes.
What do you think of it?
I have experienced it. And it shocked me. So it hasn't happened since. So I put it out to the universe and I'm open and receptive to it again.
Wait, what is it?
Light language.
Light language.
Yeah, what is that?
I only know a little bit about it, but what happened with me is I went to sleep with the crystal in my hand, and I woke up all of a sudden in shock because I was seeing a light blue, like a powder blue screen with white letters in another language, and it shocked me. I woke up startled. And so when that happens, a lot of times it blocks things from happening again.
So did you speak it?
I was reading it in another.
Wait, how do you spell it? What is it?
Light language.
Oh, light. Oh, I thought you said something else. Light language. Okay.
Yeah, light language.
So
some people speak it, some people read it. Yeah.
On that network I was telling you about, this chick was like, well, I thought it'd be fun. Come on and say your energy signature in light language. So she did it for everybody in the room. Mine sounded like guttural at first, and then kind of high pitched at the end. She said, there's different classifications of it or whatever.
Yeah.
And she considered that it was kind of elemental, and the word crystal consciousness came to her mind.
You guys know where all this stuff comes from? You guys know Dr. John Dee and Edward Kelly? You guys know about them and the Inoki and stuff?
I
don't know. Well, John Dee, he was like, this is back in the day. He was like an alchemist, philosopher. He advised like the queen. He's like super high up with like all the royal family and all this, and him and like he
Oh, John.
devised a way. Yeah, John Dee.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, so him and like he wasn't really good at making this language, but his friend Kelly was Edward Kelly. So he pretty much like they do some weird invocation thing, and they make this language called the Enochian language, where a lot of these these practices come from. You guys ever heard of the Enochian stuff, like Enochian chess, Enochian? Yeah.
Yes.
You can even play a type of chess called the Enochian chess, and you play with 4 different boards, all representing the elements, and it's like a random board you play on. It's a 2-handed chess, and you play 2 different sides of the board. It's like 4 sides. And it's a way of divination and like learning something through playing a game of chess. It's weird. But yeah, I recommend looking into John Dee and Edward Kelly's Enochian stuff. A lot of the people in this stuff nowadays, I think this is where I think that's where that idea comes from, and that late language thing or whatever.
Maybe so. I've only come across it like 3 or 4 times in videos. I've never had anybody enunciate my energy signature to me or anything. That was a really strange experience. I'm not sure how I feel about it exactly.
Yeah, there's all kinds of interesting stuff out there. Stuart Wardlow. Let me see. The Healer's Handbook, A Journey into Hyperspace. This is some of the stuff I learned a long time ago. Stuart Swardlow. He I guess this would be like Siggles. But he goes in and talks about breathing techniques and exercises. He goes in and talks about the color healing. He talks about numbers, how you can go in and do your name.
Yeah, numerology.
Number, yeah, and then it's got a color associated. This is a little different than numerology, though. What else did it? I was reading something earlier. I referenced it earlier. So he talks about balancing the T-bar, and it's going in and balancing the 2 halves of the brain. And then he talks about weeding the garden, walk on the beach, the shelf, golden altar, bubble mirror, angel contact, spirals, and spinning the chakras. He says every morning when you get up, you should spin all your chakras in the same direction. It doesn't matter whether it's left or right, as long as they're all spinning in the same direction. So he's talking about different types of meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Prayer.
Casey.
Yeah.
Casey, remember you were saying about that dream that freaked you out a bit, and there was like a powder blue and like a screen with weird letters came on it.
Yes.
Something?
Yes.
Or language. That's exactly what John Dee and Kelly were doing. Like this is the language that came to them. It's called the Enochian alphabet. Did it kind of look like that, maybe?
It wasn't quite as. It wasn't quite as stark, I want to say.
Yeah, it's probably like Aramaic or something. I'm gonna show you the Aramaic one and see if that looks like it. Hold
on. But he's talking about different healing methods, and he's got some symbols and stuff in here. The Aramaic one. He talks about radionics. So there's something you could create. Okay, you can create like an antenna. Oh, you can see it right here. And it picks up earth-based energies. And he talks they're just different healing techniques, different symbols and stuff. Travel, astral plane, and hyperspace. I need to read that. Is there any way to block somebody?
Right.
Oh yeah, you could.
Put up an electric
How?
fence.
You just have to do it through visualization. You just visualize the person connecting and cut it off. You know, just cut. You already know. Did it
Try
look
that.
more like this?
That's closer, but that's not quite it.
Yeah.
It's closer.
There's something else, and there's something closer to it. So it's more Aramaic based. That's saw some like
But
Sumerian shit in the dreams.
there's some dream analysis stuff in here too.
Californian Hebrew boy.
But he's got all kinds of symbols and stuff for different healing.
Yeah, those are a bunch of sigils. I see the monad right there. You see the circle one with the point? Is that a monad? What do they have that labeled? The circle and the point. I saw it.
The circle and the point.
Yeah, it's just a circle with one dot in the middle. I saw it on the page.
Eternal life and consciousness, new beginnings, sun, symbol for X of the 9.
X of the 9. It's called a monad, and what that is, it describes how God, or the grand architect in masonry, they call it, created the universe through a single point, and then from one point you're able to make lines.
Yeah,
And from there you can make a circle, and then this is where that idea with witches and all those people casting like circles and triangles and stuff.
well, what I have is it's a healing technique that's out of India. They're called Sanjeevanis, and every illness that was known up to about 30 years ago, they had created these circles with the different lines in them to represent different illnesses. So in order to heal something, you go back in for every illness that you've ever had in your life, and you take a medium. So you put your medium over the top of the circle, you pray over it for about 90 seconds, and then you move on to the next one. So you put all your illnesses that you've ever had in your lifetime in this, and then if your medium's water, then you drink that or whatever. It's a
And then 90 seconds?
Yeah.
Of course, 100. Okay.
And they're called Sanjeevanis, which means healing prayers.
So, did you ever get those beads that Sadhguru had suggested?
Wait, hold on. Sorry to interrupt. Did you guys see what Judy said in the?
I got a letter from healthcare services. I got both COVID shots, and that they want me to go for more tests for all these other stuffs like cancer. I will delete.
I didn't see it.
Culling the herd.
Yeah.
Oh, hugs, Judy. Sounds really concerning.
So
don't. There's something called nocebo too, right? And placebo. So nocebo is the opposite of placebo. So if someone's telling you something horrible is going to happen to you,
yeah.
and you believe it, it might. Don't believe anything. You're fine, Judy. Don't worry about that. You know, mind over matter. You know, just don't worry. If you the more you worry about it, the worse it'll be for you.
Very true.
You know?
Yep.
So I was reading something in here earlier, and I said, "Oh, I got to add this to the healing list." They talked about, what did he call it? Oh, I can't think of it now.
Yeah, those are a bunch of sigils on that page.
Yeah, dolphin templates.
Dolphins. Okay, yeah, dolphins have a really weird meaning, especially in South America. It's like it has a mystical meaning to it. Actually, there's a place in London, if you search it up, it's called Dolphin Square. And all the most powerful people who run the world always meet there once a year at Dolphin Square. Search it up.
And the symbols are used by individuals already on the dolphin frequency.
Did you know that orcas are the biggest dolphins?
Which ones?
Orcas.
Oh, orcas, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know much about dolphins, but I understand the symbolism between it because they're highly intelligent animals, and they use echolocation.
You know, did you
So it's
know
like,
that they used to use they have used dolphins in the past to ease the pain of childbirth?
oh really?
Yep, but they made it illegal.
You know, there's a dolphin that this lady that fell in love with the dolphin. She was like a
Dolphin?
research. Yeah, she was like
Hey,
yeah, she was a researcher, and she taught the dolphin math, everything. The dolphin was doing math,
I,
and the
yeah, but
dolphin
she's having
they
sex with
fell
it.
in love. Yeah, they had
Yeah.
sex with it. The dolphin would try having sex with it and shit,
She
with
said
her.
she wasn't really in love with it. She was just it had needs and it wanted
Yeah,
her, so she was just taking care
yeah.
of its needs. I read all of that. I was like, what the hell did
Like,
I stumble on?
like the dolphin didn't actually like have sex with her, but like they were just like just rub against her or something. I don't know. Yeah.
She satisfied the dolphin.
I don't want to know about that. The cool part was the dolphin learned math. I'm like, okay.
The dolphin did learn stuff. That was cool. I
Yeah,
think
that
its
was a
name
weird one.
was Pete
And
the Rapey.
I started reading about the how the dolphin was having sex with her. I'm like, okay, that's a little weird, but you know, some bestiality shit or something.
I was like, what did I get into? And I sent it to a friend because I was like, I can't read this alone. Like, you have to see it too.
Okay, enough of this dolphin. Casey, what are you saying? What are you saying, Casey?
how much pornography is in the Bible?
I don't know. Hopefully none.
Bestiality and a man having sex with his brother's wife to get her pregnant, and I
Well,
a lot of these people haven't read the Bible.
whenever Lot's wife Sarai turned back and looked at Sodom and Gomorrah, she turned into a pillar of salt. And then him and his daughters went to the cave. And while he was asleep, his daughters got him drunk on wine, or his daughters got him drunk on wine. And while he was asleep, they needed to continue his line. So there's that.
I know there's something in the Old Testament, like some little kids made fun of a guy with a bald head, and then so God sent like bears to kill all the children or something.
What?
There's some pretty outlandish shit. Yeah, it's in the Old Testament. You know, some kids made fun of a guy with a bald head. So,
I'm pretty sure that the story of Sodom and Gomorrah is in the Old Testament too.
Yeah, there's lots of things in there, and there were some passages in there where the Lord commanded one of the priests to perform an abortion on somebody.
what? See, I have to read the Bible for real. I've only nitpicked it.
That's a problem. Nobody sat down to read it. They have no idea what's in it, just what their pastors teach them,
Mhm.
What is
That's
it?
bent to their will.
Yeah.
Tyler was saying today, he's not one of those televangelists who's like, "Oh, you only got $10 for groceries? Well, send it to me, and it'll come back tenfold."
Yeah. Yeah.
Sad but true.
What was the word? I can't find it now.
Well, it's like I don't look at it like the people. If there's something to be learned through all religions. Like you should be reading the Zohar, the Talmud, the Bible,
Yes,
There's
absolutely.
commonality in it.
Sanskrit.
Yes. Yeah.
If you read them all, if you study all, you don't even have to read them all. If you study them all and piece together like the truths, then you get like the real picture.
So
There's,
that's
Just
there's a pastor on YouTube, and I forget what his name was. When he sits down to write a sermon, he pulls out 6 different Bibles. One from Africa, the Aramaic Bible, the Christian Bible, the King James Version, and 3 other kinds. And he sits and looks up the passages in each one so he can write his sermons, because he's trying to understand the full passage, and he's looking at it from 6 different ways, So it's like,
translation.
That's what my religion is. Omnism. It's the belief that there's a little bit of truth to every religion, that no one religion is right.
exactly.
I'm actually ordained, but
Yeah, I'm ordained too.
I've never felt, I don't know, like I was pure enough. I don't know how to say it.
Well, it may come up handy, honey.
You guys are ordained? What's what does that even mean exactly?
Ordained in the ministry, it means that legally I could perform.
You gonna marry people?
Or yeah. I never have. I've never had no desire, but if I needed to, I could, and I could get tax breaks if I needed to.
Yeah.
What else? What else? What else? What else is it?
We should start our own ministry. If I
That's
go,
not a good idea.
we should do that. Yep. I can't remember what the name of it was.
You guys should do some like you should do some Rose Cross Church or something.
You're really into that Rosicrucifernian stuff.
Yeah, Rosicrucian. Yeah, dude. Yeah, the Rose Key. Pretty much. I watched this really good movie. I recommend you guys. Have you guys ever seen a movie called Adaptation?
I don't think so.
It's a really good one. You'll like it.
What's it on?
I just found it online. I'm not sure. Just search it up. You see if you have one of the streaming servers. For me, you can find any movie. You just type in adaptation or whatever movie, and then 1, 2, 3 movies or Put Locker, and you'll get right on there. But you gotta keep closing ads and shit, pop ups. It's annoying, but yeah, it's a little annoying, but it's a really good one. It's about orchids. It's about someone writing a screenplay for orchids.
Years and years ago. Is it pretty old?
Have you seen Collateral Beauty?
No, I haven't.
No, I started watching it. I couldn't get into it that day. I'll try again.
Look, this adaptation movie, it's not just about that. It's about it's like about alchemy and like philosophy and all this stuff. You know, I'm like, it's a really good one. I was surprised. It's about a horticulturist and an author and stuff. So,
yeah, is it like 10 or 15 years old?
Collateral Beauty has a twist to it you won't believe.
Collateral Beauty. Okay, I'll look that one up.
Honestly, I've been rewatching the Star Wars lately.
I just watched Princess Diaries and some of the old Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, I had to like take a break and do something, fun, and like I'm like constantly studying.
Me too. Or cleaning or doctors or I'm tired of it. I want to be outside traveling and gas prices and COVID and it's Kelsey Campground in Pine, Colorado.
I was just gonna ask.
It's close to Deckers. It's close to Deckers.
Close to where?
Deckers.
Okay.
I've been looking into like alchemy and stuff, and alchemy and like masonry and stuff, and gematria, like Lucifer, the number of like the devil or Lucifer, whatever call it. It's not 666, it's 741. And I've been trying to look into this, but it's hard to find information about. Very hard.
Do you have any idea who wrote some of the books?
Oh, Manly P. Hall mentions it in Secret Teachings of All Ages, 741. It's very hard to see. There's also a guy named Nicholas Flamel. He's like a French alchemist who apparently found the Philosopher's Stone.
I've heard of
it.
That's out of Harry Potter.
Is it actually?
For Harry Potter. She based it on stuff.
Oh yeah, J.K. Rowling probably just took inspiration from that. But yeah, he's a real person.
Yeah, Butterbeer is a real thing too.
Yeah. He has a tomb in France.
She based it on historical stuff.
Wow.
She's heavily involved in that stuff herself.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling was actually she was on welfare.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep, when she wrote all that stuff, and then she became a billionaire. I don't think she's still a billionaire. I think that her billionaire status was. I think she spent some money. I don't know.
Not really.
So there's some group campgrounds up there too. Red Rocks Group Campground.
Ooh, Red Rocks.
Well, that one's at Woodland Park. Are you thinking about coming camping?
Thinking.
Thinking. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. But that it's real pretty up there where yeah, up at Kelsey Campground, and it's a national park.
I told you that I lived 16th and Adams, didn't I?
No.
When I was there,
Uh-uh.
I lived at 16th and Adams, right across from the pond at the zoo.
I grew up in the Alameda and Tejon area.
Nice.
You guys in Colorado or something?
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling has a net worth of 820 million pounds, or that's pounds though. So in U.S., that's like almost 1.5 billion U.S. dollars. That's crazy.
Yep. Read up on her. You'll find out she used to be on what they call the dole, which is, welfare for the Britons. She was on the dole.
I suppose we ought to wrap it up. I got to get up and curl my hair and everything in the morning for the wedding tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm glad you're going.
Yeah,
I think
it's out of the house.
a table full of practitioners. You're going to have plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get off too. Thank you guys for having me. Everyone have a great weekend. Have fun at the wedding, Casey.
Thanks for sharing your info.
You're always
Crystal,
welcome.
you're gonna start feeling better soon. No more not wanting to get out of bed. Trust me, you're gonna start feeling better.
Thank you.
Just allow yourself to. Just allow yourself to. You deserve it.
I've been. It's leaving the house that's hard.
Yeah. It'll get easier. It'll get easier. Things go.
Thanks
for having me on.
Walk out with a bubble around you. Fill it with color.
I'm gonna try helping you. I'll try helping you mentally with later on today. But yeah, much love, everybody. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay. You have a
Good
good
night. Love and light. All right. Yeah, I should go too. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
I had troubles earlier in the week. I couldn't get up the collective for this week. I was going to do a collective yesterday for the weekend, but I got so sick trying to unload stuff in the car, so I probably won't get the collective up till Sunday. So, yeah. We'll get there.
Yep, for sure.
Okay, everybody have a good night. Thank you for being here. Okay.
Yes, definitely. Good night, love and light. Judy, if you're still here, good night, love and light. And anyone else.
Yes. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.